Screen recording. Heading.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna show you today another game. This one will take a lot longer than the last one. Like always, please comment, like, share, and subscribe. The more you support my videos, the more I will upload. Anyway guys, here's this one. It's called Fury Driver Moonwalks. This is the first of two of them. There's number one and then there's number two. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. And without further ado, here we go. This is Wind Tiger, like always. Fury Driver is basically you play a cop, and he starts trying to get medicine for his dad. But then from there it turns into something else. He gets involved with like a whole crime syndicate and everything. So yeah, it's a really fun game. My battery is kind of low, so I might have to stop midway through. But we will see how far I can get.
Flash. Recognize music. Button. Amazon. Blind. Fury Driver. Moonwalks. Landscape. Charge. Game overlay UI. Fury Driver. Moonwalks.
Fury Driver. Moonwalks.
Voiceover off.
Swipe left to continue a previous game. Swipe right to start a new game. Swipe up or down to increase or decrease the background music's volume. Tap to listen to the credits. Fury Driver. Moonwalks. The game by Riccardo Vecchi. Game design and programming by Riccardo Vecchi and Massimo De Pascal. Sound design and music by Lorenzo Venturini. Story by Andrea D'Angelo. Voice by Matthew Curtis. Testing by Douglas Gallo. Administrative direction by Mirko Venturi. An audio game made and produced by Audio Games Association. Swipe left to continue a previous game. Swipe right to start a new game. Swipe up or down to increase or decrease the background music's volume. Tap to listen to the credits. You have reached entrance to the hideout.
Okay, I want a new game.
Swipe left
so
or swipe right.
give me a
to
sec.
Move. Save point. Parked cars.
Voiceover on. Landscape. Charge port. Edit control. Activate. Previous track. Vim. iPhone. Edit controls. Activate. Default. Previous track. Edit controls. Activate. iPhone. Work. Wi-Fi. Switch button. On. Wi-Fi. Switch button. On. Proceed stick. Edit. Open control. Volume. 100%. Adjust previous track. Vim. Button. Edit controls. Activate. Default. Edit controls. Camera. Button. Double tap and hold to expand. Swipe up. Direct. Fury Driver. Moonwalks. App switcher. Fury Driver. Moonwalks. Active. Swipe up with 3. Engines and decision. App switch. Engines and decision. Engines and decision. Idle item. Close idle item. Engines and decisions. Engines and decisions. RPG. Current. Portrait. Super. 2. Support. Hong. Away. Fury Driver. Moonwalks. Landscape. Charge port to the left. Outdoor. Screenshot.
Fury Driver.
Contact button. Overall.
Swipe left to continue a previous game. Swipe right to start a new game. Swipe up or down to increase or decrease the background music's volume. Tap to listen to the credits. Welcome to Moon City. Hell, I don't know if it's a real welcome. Moon City is the worst city on Earth. On one hand, by day, well-dressed gentlemen who try to do business with respectable people. On the other, at night, clandestine races and huge quantities of drugs which are handled by the same people who wear elegant suits during the day and hold electoral meetings. And between day and night, a few honest people trying to do their job. This is the story of an honest man, a policeman, who recently moved to Moon City where he lived as a child. He came to visit his sick father and to be closer to him, and he was definitively transferred to the hell of Moon City. Now, he is at the police station. Swipe right and left to explore the environment, forward and backwards. Use double tap to examine the interactive elements. Touch with 5 fingers to open the pause menu and access the inventory. Touch the screen with 5 fingers to skip any cutscene. You have reached Moon City Police. Swipe left or swipe right to move. Window. Plant. Window. The streets outside can be seen from here. Plant. A normal-looking palm plant. Fire extinguisher. Oh, it's broken. Plant. Commissioner Fox. To main hall. Window. Plant. Commissioner Fox. He's Virgil's commissioner of the new police station he's been assigned to. He asked him to escort a politician that is waiting outside nearby with a police car to the east side of the city. He reminds him to get his documents, which unfortunately are in his office, that is, on fire. That's what that smell Virgil sniffed in the corridor was. He says Virgil will have to extinguish the fire immediately. To main hall. The main hall of the police station. In contrast to Fox's office, it's completely gray and has no discernible features. And there is no furniture, just doors to the offices. You have reached main hall. To Fox's office, to Virgil's office, to corridor, to Moon City, to Fox's office, to Virgil's office, to Fox's office. Commissioner Fox's office. He can be seen sitting behind his desk, looking at his computer. There's a window, a plant, and a bookcase filled with law books behind him. You have reached Moon City Police. Window. Plant. Fire extinguisher. Commissioner Fox. To main hall. You have to Fox's office. To Virgil's. To corridor. An empty corridor. There's a fire extinguisher and a metallic door at the end that leads to the garage. You have reached corridor. Prison cell. There's nothing here now. Fire extinguisher. To garage. To main hall. Prison cell. Fire extinguisher. This seems to function well. Virgil can use it to put out the fire in the office. To main hall. Prison cell. To garage. The garage of the police station. It has a police car in it and the shutter leading outside. You have reached police station garage. Trash bin. It's filled with paper. It's filled with paper. Police car. To corridor. Trash bin. Police car. A police car. Virgil doesn't need to ride in one now. To corridor. You have reached corridor. Prisons. To garage. To main hall. Prisons. To main hall. You have reached main hall. To Fox's office. To Virgil's office. Virgil extinguishes the fire. Nothing important has been damaged, fortunately. Virgil can access his office and get his documents now. To corridor. To Moon. To Fox's office. To Virgil's office. It has a computer and some files stored in bookshelves. Virgil can see his documents on the desk. You have reached Virgil's office. Save point. Bookcase. Save point. Save the game. Bookcase. Contains several files and law books. On top of a shelf, there's a bottle of painkillers. Virgil takes it with him. Save point. Book. Documents. Among these are Virgil's police ID. He takes it, as he will need it for the job. Save point. Book. To main. Save point. Bookcase. To main hall. Save point. Save the game. Bookcase. To main hall. You have reached main hall. To Fox's office. To Virgil's office. To corridor. You have reached corridor. Prisons. To garage. You have reached police station garage. Trash bin. Police car. A police car. Virgil will need this to escort the politician, so he gets the keys and drives it outside. Virgil drives back into the streets of the chaotic Moon City. It's a very big city with a lot of businesses going on, but just a few places stand out in Virgil's mind. The police station to the west, the harbor to the south, the suburbs and outskirts to the north, and the desert to the east. They're all connected to the city downtown, in the center. Keeping in mind where that is in the city is key to avoid getting lost. You have reached 5th Street, number 1. Swipe left to 5th Street, number 5, to Moon City Police. Mural. The mural depicts some cops running with police cars behind them, in a style which reminds me of comic books from the 30s. Someone wrote, "a cab," in the bottom left corner of the picture. To 5th Street, to Moon City Mural. To 5th Street, number 5. A three-way intersection leading to one of the main avenues of the city, to a public park, and to the police station. You have reached 5th Street, number 5. To public park, to 5th Street, number 9. To 5th Street, number 1, bench. To public park. There's a small park in this corner of the city. It's as big as a small square, probably 40 meters by 40 meters. The politician Fox talked about is sitting on one of the benches, looking at the trees and bushes. There are some small stores at the edges of the park. You have reached public park. Politician, pharmacy. To 5th Street, number 5. Politician, pharmacy. The pharmacy clerk says he has only one of the medicines that Virgil needs to bring to his father. The other one is probably available in another pharmacy in the city. Virgil still buys the one that's here and puts it in his pocket. To 5th Street, politician. This is the politician Fox told Virgil about. He's sitting on one of the benches and tells Virgil that he needs to get to the center of downtown. Now the quickest way there would be just going up 2nd Avenue. The two get in the police car and start moving. To 5th Street, number 5. Pharmacy. To 5th Street, number 5. You have reached 5th Street, number 5. To public park. To 5th Street, 5th Street, bench. A wooden bench facing the road. No one's on it at the moment. To public park. To 5th Street, number 1. A dead end with the police station on the right side. Seen from the outside, it's a half-white, half-black building. The lower half in white, the upper one is in black. You have reached 5th Street, number 1. To 5th to Moon City Police. To 5th Street, number 5. You have reached to public. To 5th Street. 5th Street. To 5th Street, number 9. An unremarkable street that leads with nothing particularly interesting. Virgil's apartment is one of the buildings in this street. You have reached 5th Virgil's apartment. Virgil's apartment is on the 1st floor. He doesn't need to get anything from his house and he's not tired, so he has no reason to go up there. To 2nd Avenue, number 20. To 5th Street, number 5. Virgil's apartment. To 2nd Avenue, number 20. From here, downtown can be reached going north, while the harbor and the sea are in the opposite direction. You have reached 2nd Avenue, number 20. Street lamp. Used to illuminate the intersection. Like the other 1,000 or so at various points in the city, they usually turn on at 6 p.m. and turn off at 6 a.m. To 2nd Avenue, number 13. To 2nd Avenue, number 27. To 5th Street, number 9. Street lamp. To 2nd Avenue, number 13. To 2nd Avenue, number 27. The concrete of the street begins deteriorating from here, a sign of a not too well curated part of the city. You have reached 2nd Avenue, number 27. Truck driver. He's a plump man wearing a red shirt and blue overalls. He's eating a sandwich while looking at his truck, which is parked at the side of the road. He must be on break. The 2nd Ave truck driver, trusted drug dealer. Virgil doesn't need anything from this person right now. To 2nd Avenue, number 34. to 2nd Avenue, number 20. Truck driver. Trust to 2nd Avenue, number 34. The avenue ends here. And from here, there's a single small street perpendicular to the other street, which leads to some buildings to the west and the harbor to the east. You have reached save point. Save the game. To 2nd Avenue, number 27. To 11th Street, number 1. To 11th Street, number 3. Fishmonger. Fishmonger has set up a stand using his minivan, in which he sells fish he caught at the sea early in the morning, probably using a boat. The smell of the freshly caught prey is so intense, it's almost nauseating. Save point. To 2nd Avenue, to 11 Fishmonger. To 11th Street, number 1. Some decadent apartments are in this road, along with some grocery stores and other businesses which seem slightly shadier. You have reached 11th Street Garage. Some young workers are bringing a lot of machinery related to the maintenance of cars inside a garage. Virgil thinks it's highly likely that someone is trying to open a car garage here, which would compete with the one near downtown. The 2nd Ave Garage to nightclub. To 2nd Avenue Garage to nightclub. To 2nd Avenue, number 34, to nightclub. There's no need to go inside the nightclub now. To 2nd Avenue. You have reached save point. To 2nd Avenue, to 11th Street, number 1. To 11th Street, number 3. Some trucks are parked at the side of the road, probably waiting for something to come out of the harbor or get into the harbor. You have reached 11th Street. Containers. Several containers are amassed near the entrance of the harbor. They're too tall, and the way they're placed makes it impossible to get behind them. To 2nd to harbor entrance. To 2nd Avenue to harbor entrance. There's nothing going on at the harbor right now. Virgil doesn't need to go there. To 2nd Avenue, number 34. You have save point. To 2nd Avenue, number 27. You have reached truck driver. Trust to 2nd Avenue, number 34. To 2nd Avenue, number 20. You have reached 2nd Avenue street lamp. To 2nd Avenue, number 13. This intersection leads to the most central part of the downtown of Moon City, or to the entrance of the ghetto. The latter appears to be in a much more decadent state than the former. You have reached save point. Save the game. Teenagers. Save point. To 2nd Avenue, number 6. To ghetto. To 2nd Avenue, number 20. Teenagers. A teenage girl is hanging out with 2 of her friends. Looks like they're headed downtown. To 2nd Avenue, number 20. To ghetto. To 2nd Avenue, number 6. There appears to be a roadblock ahead due to construction work. The politician is in a hurry and suggests going through the ghetto to get to the destination because it's the fastest way. Virgil is worried about that because the ghetto is infamous for having gangs all over the place. But he complies. To ghetto. As soon as Virgil enters, he starts getting chased by a local gang. They're holding guns, and they look very dangerous. Virgil must run away from them and escape from the ghetto. Touch the screen with 5 fingers to skip the instructions. In a race, touch the left or right part of the screen to move in that direction. You will accelerate automatically until you reach the car's top speed. A voice will tell you where incoming obstacles are coming from. 2 kinds of beeping sounds can be heard. One when an obstacle is in front of you, and another when you're getting too close to the edge of the track. Getting hit slows you down, and if you take too much time to complete the circuit, you will lose. So, go as fast as you can. Get ready. Start in 3, 2, 1. Obstacle to the center. Obstacle on the right. Outer track gets hit. Obstacle on the right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Virgil gets hit. Obstacle on the left. Obstacle on the left. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Left. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn complete. Out of track. Obstacle in the center. Left turn incoming. Turn out of track. Obstacle on the right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Left turn incoming. Track completed at 50%. Turn completed. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Right. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Right. Left. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Right. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Obstacle on the left. Obstacle on the right. Right. The escape is over. Virgil successfully escaped. After escaping from the gang, the politician turns out to be an undercover agent. And this was only a test for an important mission that Virgil is about to receive. Virgil has to infiltrate the city's criminal base, find out who the mysterious Mr. Sin is, the one who controls the crime, and arrest him. The policeman cannot refuse. He must pay for his father's medicine and cannot risk being fired. Virgil has proven to be an excellent driver. The idea to infiltrate the moonwalks, the extremely dangerous clandestine races in Moon City. After receiving the latest instructions from the undercover agent, Virgil realizes that he has to go buy the medicine his father needs. You have reached 2nd Avenue, number 41. Obstructed road. There appears to be some construction work going on here. A massive crack in the street is being repaired right now. It's impossible to go forward in this direction, at least for a few days, if not weeks. 1st Street, number 34, to Ghetto. Obstructed road. 1st Street, number 34. The main street ends here. It continues both north and south. Going north leads out of town, where Virgil really doesn't need to go to right now. Going west leads to the city downtown. You have reached Trusted Drug Dealer. The dealer asked Virgil to talk about their business somewhere else. This location is too exposed at the moment. The southern part of the city, between the ghetto and the harbor, will do. To 1st Street, number 31. To 2nd Street, number 41. Road to the Eastern Desert. Trusted Drug Dealer. To 1st Street, number 31. To 2nd Street, road to the... The road goes on eastward, leading into the desert and then the other cities. Virgil has no need to go there at the moment. His job requires him to investigate things strictly related to Moon City, after all. Trusted Drug. To 1st Street, number 31. To 2nd Street, number 41. Another entrance to the ghetto. The asphalt is in a general state of disrepair. You have reached Obstructed 1st to Ghetto. 1st Street, number 34. You have reached Trust to 1st Street, 2nd to 1st Street, number 31. An unremarkable street. Some alleys can be seen every once in a while on the southern side of the street. You have reached the First Street, number 34, to First Street, number 25, elementary and middle school. To First Street, number 34, to First Street, elementary. This building is big enough to house both an elementary school and a middle school inside. Virgil has gone to these schools before moving to another city, and now feels really bad for the children that will grow up here. Moon City has so much more criminal activity now than when he was young, and that will surely give bad influences to the new generation. To First Street, number 34. To First Street, number 25. This intersection is near the Club District, where several restaurants and music clubs are, including the one most visited by Virgil's father. You have reached the Club District. To First Street, number 31. To First Street, number 19. To the Club District. Nightclubs, expensive restaurants, fast food chain restaurants, hotels, the likes infest this area of the town. There's no room for any other kind of building. The Blues Club, so beloved by Virgil's father, can be seen to the east. You have reached save point. You save the game to Blues Club. To First Street, number 25, save point. To Blues Club. The Blues Club is dimly lit with a violet light. There's a bartender on the left behind his wooden stand, and the co-manager on the right. You have reached entrance. Bartender. He says that they're not open yet. If Virgil wants to drink something, he'll need to come by later. Co-manager. He looks tired, and he's looking at something on his phone. He must be on his break. Liquors and alcoholic beverages. This is the stuff that the bartender uses to make cocktails, but some of those things can also be served by themselves. To main room. To Moon City. Bartender. Liquors and out to main room. There are several tables, and there's a stage, on which there's a piano, illuminated by a spotlight that Virgil's father is playing. There's no one else in the club yet. You have reached main room. Paintings. Some Art Deco paintings have been put on the wall. The owner of the place must like this art style. Dinner table. A fancy dinner table. It's adorned with a tablecloth and cutlery. Virgil's father. To manager's office. To Blues Club and paintings. Dinner table. Virgil's father. To manager's office. A room with a black marble table with a bookcase behind it. The manager is sitting lazily on a black leather chair in front of Virgil. You have reached manager's office. Manager. Clean table with cigars. Some expensive-looking cigars are left half-consumed on the table to sizzle. Virgil thinks the manager has to have a lot of money since he doesn't even care about finishing them. To main room. Manager. Clean table to main room. Manager. He tells Virgil that his name is Ross and asks him what he needs. Virgil tells him about his father, but he's not willing to listen. Clean table to main room. You have reached paintings, dinner table, Virgil's to manager's office, to Blues Club and you have reached and bartender, co-manager. He looks tired and he's looking at something on his phone. He must be on his break. Liquors and alcoholic to main room, to Moon City, bartender, bartender. He says that they're not open yet. If Virgil wants to drink something, he'll need to come by later. To Moon City. You have reached Club District. Save point to Blue. Save the to Blue to First Street, number 25. You have reached the Club District. First Street to First Street, number 19. An intersection that leads to the city square, the downtown center, or just the continuation of the main street. You have reached Pharmacy to First Pharmacy. The pharmacy clerk says he has only one of the medicines that Virgil needs to bring to his father. The other one is probably available in another pharmacy in the city. Virgil still buys the one that's here and puts it in his pocket. To First Street, number 25, to downtown center. To Main Square. Fancy-looking house. Pharmacy. An extravagant apartment, which looks to have been built by a famous designer, recognizable by the many sharp angles that this house features. The house makes a stark contrast with the skyscrapers and normal-looking buildings nearby. To Main Square. The main square of the city has general stores and skyscrapers surrounding it. As for the square itself, it's just a barren, flat, and gray concrete surface with no patterns. There's no place for monuments or statues in Moon City, because it's a relatively modern city, but also because it wouldn't fit with the corruption of the place. You have reached. Man reading a newspaper. He's reading today's newspaper while sitting on a bench facing the main square. He's wearing a black suit that makes him look like a businessman. First Street, number 19. To 2nd Avenue, number 6. Man reading First Street, number 19. To 2nd Avenue, number 6. The construction work has been completed, and now the street is traversable. You have reached 2nd Avenue, number 6. Downtown Center, Main Square. To 2nd Avenue, number 13. Dollar Store. Downtown Center, Dollar Store. A dollar store facing the street. It sells all kinds of things. A lot of people are inside at the moment. Downtown Center, Main Square. To 2nd Avenue, number 13. Main Square. You have reached. Man read First to 2nd Avenue. Man reading First to 2nd Avenue. Number to First Street, number 19. You have reached Pharmacy to First Downtown Center to First Street, number 25. Down to Main Square. Fancy-looking house. Pharmacy to First Street, number 25. Downtown Center. The absolute center of Moon City. Several skyscrapers and shops and intersections are set here. The blue windows of the skyscrapers create a nice contrast with the general grayness of the concrete of all the buildings here. You have reached the drugstore. To First Street, number 7. To First Street, number 19. To 2nd Avenue, number 6. Moon City Bank. To drugstore. Moon City. The city's bank. Virgil had never heard the name of this bank before moving to Moon City, and there have been some rumors floating around that it's apparently owned by a gang. But Virgil has found no evidence to confirm this hypothesis so far. To drugstore. A shoddy place with brown and red walls. Virgil can see the old owner on the right, and some liquor scattered around the room. Some inside showcases, some not. There's a closed door on the far right side of the room. You have reached drugstore entrance. Wine collection and a display. Some wines are stored in a display, which is for show for the clients. None of these bottles catch Virgil's attention. Shop owner. To Moon City. Wine collection and a shop owner. The owner of the place is kinda old, probably in his 60s. He asks Virgil if he needs something, to which he replies that he doesn't at the moment. The owner then gives permission to Virgil to look around the shop if he wants. To Moon City. Wine collection, shop owner. To Moon City. You have reached the drugstore. To First Street, number 7. This is where the best car workshop and mechanic in town reside. Virgil has heard that the man doesn't ask questions regarding the legality of the repairs or modification he's asked to do on the cars, and the police seem to turn a blind eye to his proceedings. Virgil thinks that this is the best possible place to come if he ever needs to repair or upgrade his car. You have reached First Street Mechanic. This is the shop of the best mechanic in town. Virgil should come here when he has repairs or he needs to get modifications to his car. Save point. To race. Save point. Save the game. To race circuit. To First Street, number 1. The Downtown Center Mechanic. Save point. To race circuit. Virgil doesn't need anything from this place at the moment. To First Street, number 1. This is the beginning of the main street of the city. The suburbs and outer parts of town can be reached by going northeast and northwest respectively. You have reached the 7th Avenue. to First Street, number 7, high school. This is where most of the children that graduate middle school go next. There's no college in Moon City, so people have to move to continue their education. And if they can't, they'll have to work here, which can also lead to joining gangs if one is desperate enough, unfortunately. To 7th Ave to First High School. To 7th Avenue to First Street, number 7, high school. To 7th Avenue. A road leading outside the city. Some apartment complexes can be seen on both sides of the road. You have reached to 7th Avenue, number 16, to First Street. Team. A young teenager is looking at his smartphone and is texting someone. There's nothing out of the ordinary about him. To 7th Ave to First Team. To 7th Avenue, number 16. An intersection near the end of the town from which the outskirts or the suburbs can be reached. From this point, the more one goes towards the desert outside town, the less houses are seen. You have reached 7th Avenue, number 16. Pawn shop entrance. Road to the suburbs, to outskirts, to 7th Avenue, number 8. Elderly woman. An elderly woman is looking at the pawn shop window. Virgil thinks she's just window shopping to pass the time. Pawn shop road to outskirt to 7th Avenue. Elderly woman. Pawn shop entrance. Virgil doesn't need anything from this place at the moment. Road to the suburbs. An asphalt road in a generally decent condition. It's surrounded by unkempt crop fields and grass. It leads to the suburbs. You have reached save point. Save the game. Bus stop. From the timetables attached to the bus stop, the bus seems to pass here every half hour or so and runs through the city with 3 major stops: the suburbs, the town center, and the harbor. To suburbs. 7th Avenue, save point, bus stop, to suburbs. Virgil has other business to take care of. Doesn't need to go there now. 7th Avenue, number 16. Safe bus stop to suburb, 7th Avenue. Pawn shop and road to the suburbs. To outskirts. The outskirts begin here, just at the right of the pawn shop. And they're rather small. Some nightclubs and hotels can be found nearby. You have reached young adult. A young man wearing a tank top is leaning against a car, reading the latest issue of a sports magazine. He's very into it. He doesn't seem to be paying attention to his surroundings. To 7th Avenue, young adult. To out-of-town road. To hotel nightclub. To 7th Avenue, young adult. To out-of-town road. To hotel night. Virgil has other business to take care of. Doesn't need to go there now. To out-of-town road. The other side of the pawn shop can be seen from here. It appears to have a back entrance. The houses farthest from the city downtown are located in this area. You have reached pawn shop back entrance. Virgil has other business to take care of. Doesn't need to go there now. To house backyard. Virgil has other business to take care of. Doesn't need to go there now. To facilities. To outskirts. Pawn shop back to house to facilities. There are very few apartments from this point on, and some hotels and cafes can still be seen occasionally on both sides of the road. You have reached Villa. A small villa with a garden is on the left side of the road, isolated from other buildings. The house is surrounded from all sides by yellow walls. The only way to get in is through the front gate, which is about 4 meters tall but is currently closed. To the out-of-town villa, too near the desert. To the out-of-town road, villa. Too near. Some buildings, probably ex-factories, repurposed as warehouses to show the border of the city. From here on, it's just the desert and the lonely asphalt road that goes through it. You have reached save point. Save the game. Desert. To the warehouses. To facilities. Save point. Desert. The road extends eastward, then curves to the left and goes straight north for miles and miles. Apart from sand and barren land, the only other things that can be seen from here are the moon and the sky, just faintly, and a mountain range several miles north. Save point. To facility. To the warehouses. Virgil has other business to take care of. Doesn't need to go there now. To facility. Save point. Desert. To the warehouses. To facilities. You have reached Villa. To near the desert. To the out-of-town road. You have reached pawn shop back to house backyard. To facilities. To outskirts. You have reached outskirts. Young adult. To out-of-town road. To hotel nightclub. To 7th Ave. To hotel to 7th Avenue. Number 16. You have reached pawn shop road to the outskirts. To 7th Avenue. Number 8. You have reached to 7th Avenue to 1st Street, number 1. You have reached to 7th Avenue to 1st Street, number 7. You have reached Mechanic, Save Point, to Race Circuit, to 1st Street, number 1, the downtown center. You have reached the drugstore to 1st Street, to 1st Street, to 2nd Avenue, number 6. You have reached downtown Main Square to 2nd Avenue, number 13. You have reached Save Point to 2nd Avenue, number 6, to Ghetto, to 2nd Avenue, number 20, Teenagers, to 2nd. You have reached Street Lamp to 2nd Avenue, to 2nd Avenue, number 13, to 5th Street, to 2nd Avenue, number 27. You have reached Truck Driver, Trusted Drug Dealer. This is the drug dealer that Virgil knows real well. He has good prices and sells the weed that can alleviate Virgil's father's pain. Virgil bought the stuff from him many times, and they've established a friendly relationship. He hands him the drug and tells Virgil that he can pay him later if he doesn't have the necessary money on him, because he's proven to be a trustworthy customer. The two hear police sirens blaring in the distance, and the pusher gets very worried. He appears to be high from the look of his pupils, and tells Virgil that they need to leave immediately, and that he has a rig car made specially to run from the Popo. He gives Virgil permission to ride it, and the two of them set off, chased by the police. Get ready. Start in 3, 2, 1. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Center. Virgil, right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Right. Virgil, right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Left. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Track completed at 50%. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn complete. Left. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left. Right turn incoming. The escape is over. Virgil successfully escaped. Virgil and the drug dealer, sweaty and out of breath due to the intensity of the chase, stop in front of the blues club preferred by Virgil's father. The drug dealer gets out of the car, tells Virgil to send his greetings to the old man, and leaves, cursing for the close escape. The curses decrease in volume due to the distance, with the exception of a louder "fuck, fuck," heard after a few seconds. Virgil smartens himself up, gets out of the car, and gets ready to see his father. You have reached Club District. Save point. To Blue. Save point. You save the game. To Blues Club. You have reached entrance. Bart, Coleman, liquors and alcohol to main room. You have reached paintings, dinner table. Virgil's father. Virgil and his father chat a bit and catch up on what's happening today to both of them. Virgil doesn't have all the medicines and the weed for his father, so he promises to come back soon with all the things. To manager's office. To Blues Club entrance. You have reached bartender. He says that they're not open yet. If Virgil wants to drink something, he'll need to come by later. Coleman, liquors and Coleman. He looks tired, and he's looking at something on his phone. He must be on his break. Liquors and alcohol to main room. To Moon bartender. To Moon City. You have reached save point. To Blues save point. Save the game. To Blues Club. To First Street, number 25. Save point. To Blues Club. To First Street, number... You have reached to the Club District. To First Street, number 31. To First Street, number 19. You have pharmacy. To First Street, number pharmacy. Virgil doesn't need anything from this place at the moment. To First downtown center. To Main Square. Fancy looking house. Pharmacy. To First Street, number 25. To downtown to Main Square. Fancy looking house. Pharmacy. To First Street, number 25. Downtown center. You have reached to drugstore. To First to drug. You have reached wine collection shop on to Moon City. You have reached to drug to First Street, number 19, to First Street, number 7. You have reached mechanic, save point, to race, save the game, to race circuit. Virgil doesn't need anything from this place at the moment. To First Street, number 1. To downtown center. You to drugstore. To First Street, number 7. To First Street, number 19. To 2nd Avenue, number 6. You have reached downtown center, Main Square. To 2nd Avenue, number 13. Dollar store. Downtown dollar to 2nd Avenue. Save point. To 2nd Ave to Ghetto. To 2nd Avenue, number 20. You have reached street lamp. To 2nd Avenue, number 13. To 2nd Avenue, number 27. You have reached truck driver. To 2nd Avenue. To 2nd Avenue, number 20. Truck driver. To 2nd Avenue, number 34. To 2nd Avenue. You have reached street lamp. To 2nd Ave. To 2nd Ave. To 5th Street, number 9. You have reached Virgil's apartment. Virgil's apartment is on the 1st floor. He doesn't need to get anything from his house, and he's not tired, so he has no reason to go up. To 2nd Avenue, number 20, to 5th Street, number 5, Virgil's apartment, to 5th. You have reached to Public Park, to 5th Street, to 5th Street, number 1, bench, to Public Park, to 5th Street, to 5th Street. You have reached to 5th Street, number 5, to Moon City Police Mural, to 5th to Moon City Police. You have reached Main Hall, to Fox's office. You have reached window, plant, fire extinguisher, Commissioner Fox.
He's working on something on his computer. Strongly suggests Virgil to get working on his operation.
To Main Hall. You have reached to Fox's office, to corridor, to Moon City. To Fox, to Moon, to corridor, to Virgil's office. You have reached save point, bookcase, to Main Hall, save point, book. Contains several files and law books. There's nothing else of note here anymore. To Main Hall. To Fox's office, to corridor, to Moon City. You have reached to 5th Street, number 5, to Moon City Police Mural, to 5th Street, number 5. You have reached to Public Park, to 5th Street, to 5th Street, number 1. To 5th Street, to Public Park, to 5th Street. You have reached to 5th Street, number 5, to Moon City Police Mural, to Moon City, to 5th Street. You have to Public Park, to 5th Street, number 9. You have reached Virgil's apartment, to 2nd Avenue, number 20. You have reached Street Lamp, to 2nd Avenue, number 13, to 2nd Avenue, number 27, to 2nd Avenue. You have reached Save Point, to 2nd Avenue, number 6. You have reached Downtown Center, Main Square, to 2nd Avenue, Dollar Store, Downtown Center. You have the drugstore, to 1st Street, number 19, to 2nd Avenue, number 6, to 1st Street, number. You have reached Pharmacy, to 1st Street, number 25, Downtown Center, to 1st. You have reached the Club District. You have reached Save Point, the Blues Club. You have reached Bartender, Comb Liquors, and up to Main Room. To move to Main Room. You have Paintings, Dinner, to Virgil, to Manager's Office. To Blue, to Manager. You have reached Manager. He tells Virgil that his name is Ross and asks him what he needs. Virgil tells him, clean table, to Main Room. Manager, to Main Room. Paintings, Dinner, to Virgil's father, to Manager's Office. To Blues, Paintings, to Blues. Bartender, co-manager, liquors. This is the stuff that the bartender. He says that they're not open yet. If Virgil wants to drink something, he'll need to come by later. Liquors and alcohol, to Main Room. To Moon City. You have reached Save Point, to Blues, to First Save Point, to 1st Street, number 25. You have reached to the Club District, to 1st Street, number 19, to 1st Street, number 31, to the Club District, to 1st Street, number 19. You have reached First Pharmacy to First Street, number 25, to Downtown Center, to Main Square. Fancy looking house, Pharmacy, to First Street, number 25, to Downtown Center. You have reached the drugstore to First Street, to First Street, number 7. You have reached mechanic.
This is the shop of the best mechanic in town. Virgil should come here when he has repairs.
Save point. Save to race circuit.
Virgil doesn't need anything from the...
To First Street, number 1. You have reached the 7th Avenue, number 8, to First Street, number 7, High School, the 7th Avenue. You have reached the 7th Avenue, number 16, to First Street, Teen, to 7th Avenue, number 16. You have reached pawn shop entrance.
Virgil doesn't need any...
Road to the suburbs, to outskirts. You have reached young adult, to out of town road, to hotel nightclub, to 7th Avenue, number 16, to out of town. You have reached pawn shop back to house backyard, to facilities, to house.
Virgil has other business to take care of.
To facilities. You have reached villa.
A small villa with a garden is on...
To near the desert. To the out-of-town villa. To near the desert. You have reached save point desert. To the warehouse. To facilities. Save point. To the warehouse.
Virgil has other business to take care of. Doesn't need to...
To facilities. You have reached villa. To near the desert. To the out-of-town road. You pawn shop back to house backyard. Pawn shop back entry.
Virgil has...
To house back to facilities. To outskirts. Pawn shop back end. To house back to facilities. To outskirts. To facility. To outskirt. You have reached young adult. To out of to hotel nightclub. To 7th to hotel.
Virgil has other business to take.
To 7th Avenue. Young adult. To 7th Avenue. Number 6. You have reached pawn shop at road to the to outskirts. To 7th Avenue. Number. You have reached to 7th Avenue. To First Street. Number. To 7th Ave to First High School. To 7th Avenue. Number 8. To First Street. You have reached mechanic. Save point to racer to First Street. Number 1. To Downtown Center. You have reached the drugstore to First Street. Number 7. To First Street. Number 19. To 2nd Avenue. Number 6. You have reached Downtown Center, Main Square, to 2nd Avenue, Dollar Store, Downtown Dollar Store, a dollar store facing to 2nd Avenue, number 13. You save point to 2nd Ave, save the gate to 2nd Ave to Ghetto. Virgil can go straight or to the right. You have reached Northwest Ghetto. Movie poster. To Ghetto. Movie poster.
A poster is affixed to a wall depicting a recently released noir movie that's in theaters now.
To Ghetto. North. To Ghetto. West. To Moon City. Movie poster. To Ghetto. North. Virgil can only go right. You have reached North Laundry.
Several washing machines can be seen inside. They're coin-operated, and some have clothes spinning in them.
To Ghetto, Center. To Ghetto, Northwest Laundry. To Ghetto, Center. To Ghetto, North Laundry. To Ghetto.
Virgil can go straight or to the right. You have reached to Ghetto, north, to Ghetto, west, to Ghetto, south.
Kiosk?
The kiosk sells mostly magazines, newspapers, and a few toys for children. Some magazines are issues from several months ago. To Ghetto, west, to Ghetto, south.
Kiosk?
To Ghetto, north, to Ghetto, west. Virgil can go left or right. You have reached to Ghetto, northwest, to Ghetto, center, to Ghetto, southwest.
Grocery store.
This grocery store is closed at the moment. Some posters attached to the glass doors state that the fish is 70% off at the moment. To Ghetto,
Grocery store.
to Ghetto, northwest, to Ghetto, center, to Ghetto, southwest. Virgil can only go left. You have reached west, young boy. To Ghetto south, young boy. To Ghetto west, to Ghetto south, young boy. A young boy who stands idle at the side of the road. He's probably about 12 years old and he's playing with a ball. He throws it at the wall and tries to catch it on the rebound. Oh, he's quite skilled because he manages to catch it really quickly. So there's no worry that he could run into the street to chase after it. To Ghetto west, to Ghetto south. Virgil can go straight or to the left. You have to worn out garage. To Ghetto, to worn out, to Ghetto southwest, to Ghetto center, to Ghetto southeast, to worn out garage. An open garage with empty, dusty boxes lying around. There's nothing suspicious here. To Ghetto southeast, to Ghetto center, to Ghetto southeast. Virgil can only go left. You have reached cop. Presumably one of Virgil's colleagues. He's a young man in his 20s. He's on patrol, which means that he's looking for suspicious activities. He seems relaxed enough, though. Sometimes he exchanges a few words and chats with the inhabitants of the neighborhood. He must be either very knowledgeable about who lives here and knows that the people he's talking to are in the clear, or he's just very lazy and not taking this very seriously. Virgil thinks it's the latter due to the man's age. To Ghetto south, to Ghetto east, cop. To Ghetto south, to Ghetto. Virgil can go straight or to the left. You to Ghetto southeast, to Ghetto center, to Ghetto northeast, to Ghetto southeast, to Ghetto center, to Ghetto northeast. Virgil can go straight or to the left. To dark alley, to Ghetto north, to Ghetto east, to Ghetto exit, to dark alley. Virgil can't see too well what's in the alley. It's probably nothing, and he has other things to worry about right now. To Ghetto north, to Ghetto east, to Ghetto exit. Virgil can see the exit to the right. You have reached suspicious looking boy. To Ghetto northeast, exit. Suspicious, a young boy, probably 16 years old, wearing a hoodie with his hood down. He averts his eyes from Virgil's gaze. Virgil thinks that he's afraid of policemen in general, and he remembers that when he was young, he was also rationally afraid of them, even when he did nothing wrong. To Ghetto, northeast, exit. You have reached obstructed road. First Street, number 34. To Ghetto. Obstructed road. First Street. You have reached trusted drug dealer. Virgil doesn't need anything from this person. To First Street, number 31. To Second Street, number 41. Road to the Eastern Desert. Trusted drug dealer. Road to the... The road goes on eastward, leading into the desert. Trust to First Street. To Second Street. You have reached obstructed road. First Street, number 34. To Ghetto. First. You have trusted drug to First Street, number 31. You have reached to First Street, number 34. To First Street, number 25. Elementary and to First Street, number 34. You have reached Trusted Drug to 1st Street to 2nd Street. You obstructed road to 1st Street, number to Ghetto. Obstructed road to Ghetto. 1st Street, number 34. Trusted to 1st Street, number 31. You have reached to 1st Street, number 34. To 1st Street, number... You have to the Club District, 1st Street, number 31. To 1st Street. You have reached Pharmacy to 1st Street, number 25. Downtown Center to Main Square. Downtown. You have reached the drugstore to 1st Street, number 7. To 1st Street, number 19. The 2nd Avenue, number 6. Moon City, the 2nd Avenue, number 6. You Downtown Center, Main Square to 2nd Avenue, number 13. Dollar Store to 2nd Avenue. You have Save Point to Save the Game to 2nd Avenue to Ghetto to 2nd Avenue, number 20. You Street Lamp to 2nd Avenue to 2nd Avenue, number 27. To 5th Street, number to 2nd Avenue. You have reached Truck Driver to 2nd Avenue, number 34. To 2nd Avenue, number 20. Truck Driver to 2nd Avenue. You have reached Save Point to 2nd Save Point. Save the Game to 2nd Ave to 11th Street, number 1. To 11th Fishmonger. Save Point Fish to 11th. You have reached Containers to Harbor Entrance to 2nd Avenue. Container to Harbor. There's nothing going on at the harbor right now. Virgil doesn't need to go there. There's nothing going on at the harbor. To 2nd Avenue, number 34. You have reached Save Point to 2nd Avenue, number 27. You have reached Truck Driver to 2nd Avenue, number 34. To 2nd Avenue, number 20. You have reached Street Lamp to 2nd Avenue, number 13. You have reached Save Point to 2nd Avenue, number 6. You have reached Downtown Center, Main Square to 2nd Avenue, You have man reading a newspaper. He's reading today's newspaper. 1st Street, number 9. To 2nd Avenue, number 6. Man reading at the 1st Street, the 2nd, the 1st. You have reached Pharmacy to 1st Street, number 25. Downtown Center to Main Square. Downtown. You have reached the drugstore to 1st Street, number 7. To 1st Street, number 19. To 2nd Avenue, number 6. You have Downtown Center, Main Square to 2nd Avenue, number 13. You have reached Save Point to 2nd Avenue, number 6. To Ghetto to 2nd Avenue, number 20. You have reached Street Lamp to 2nd to 5th Street. You Virgil's Apartment to 2nd Avenue to 5th Street, number 5. Virgil's Apartment to 5th Street. You have reached to Public Park to 5th Street, 5th Bench to Public Park. You have reached Pharmacy to 5th Pharmacy. Virgil doesn't need anything from this place at the moment. To 5th Street Pharmacy to 5th Street, number 5. You have reached to Public Park to 5th Street, number 9. 5th Street to 5th Bench to 5th Street. You have reached to 5th Street, number 5, to Moon City Bullet Mural, to Moon. You have reached to Fox's to Virgil to Corridor, to Moon's to Corridor. You have reached Prison Cell to Garage to Main Hall to Garage. You have reached Trash Bin to Corridor. Trash Bin. It's filled with paper. To Corridor. You have reached Prisons to Garage to Main Hall. Prison to Main. You have reached to Fox's to Virgil to Corridor to Moon City. You have reached to 5th to Moon City Mural to 5th Street, number 5. You have reached to Public Park to 5th Street, number 9, to 5th Street, number 1, to 5th Street, number 9. You have reached Virgil's apartment to 2nd Virgil's apartment is on the first to 2nd Avenue to 5th Street, number 5. Virgil's apartment to 2nd Avenue, number 20. You have reached Street Lamp to 2nd Avenue, number 30 to 2nd Avenue, number 27 to 5th Street, number Street Lamp to 2nd Avenue. You Save Point to 2nd Avenue, number 6. You have reached Downtown Center, Main Square to 2nd Avenue, number 13. Dollar Store, Downtown, Dollar Store, Downtown. You have reached to Drugstore to 1st Street, number 7. To Drugstore to 1st Street, number 19. To 2nd Avenue. Moons to Drunks to 1st Street, to 1st Street, number to Moon City Bank. The city's bank. To Drugstore to 1st Street, to 1st Street, number 19. Pharmacy to 1st Street, number 20. Pharmacy. Virgil doesn't need anything. To 1st Street, number 25. Downtown Center to 1st. To the Club District. First to the Club District, 1st Street, number 19. To the 1st Street, to 1st Street, number 31. To 1st Street, number 19. To the Club District. You have reached Save Point to Blue. Save the game to Blue to 1st Street to Blues. You have reached Bartender. He says that they're not open yet. Co-manager. He looks tired and he's looking. Liquors and alcohol. This is the stuff that the bar to Main Room. You have reached Paintings, Dinner Table. Virgil's father. He's playing a piano, but as soon as Virgil sees him, he asked him if he brought the medicine, and the medicine he needs for the day, because he's running out of it. Virgil gives it to him, and he looks so much more mellow now. He says his mood has improved, and he'll play something different on the piano. To manager's office. Virgil's father. Virgil's father is playing a rather somber melody.
So that's what I had to do. That wasn't really hinted. Anyway, here we go. Now we're back on track.
To manager's office. You have reached manager's office. Manager. He tells Virgil that his name is Ross and asks him what he needs. Virgil tells him about his father, but he's not willing to listen. Clean table with some expensive-looking cigar. To Main Room. You have reached Paintings, Dinner Table. Virgil's father. To manager's office. To Blues Club. Virgil heads towards the exit, but the co-manager suddenly calls him. It seems that this person has important matters to discuss with Virgil. You have reached Entrance. Bartender. Co-manager. He's saying that this place isn't a rest home, and if Virgil wants to do something about it, he has to talk to the manager. But to do so, he says that Virgil needs an excuse, and that the boss likes two things, and one is booze. He suggests Virgil talk to the bartender about it. Liquors and alcohol to main room, to Moon City. Bartender. He says that the boss likes the same brand that a local drugstore has. He tells Virgil it's nearby, in the middle of Moon City's downtown. Co-manager. Liquor to main room, to Moon City. You have reached save point to Blues. Save the game to Blues Club to First Street, number 25. Save point to Blues Club to First Street. You have reached to the Club District to First Street, number 19. You have reached Pharmacy to First Street, downtown to Main Square. Fancy looking house. Pharmacy to First Street, number 25. To Downtown Center. You have reached a drugstore. You have reached drugstore entrance. Wine collection and shop owner. To Moon City. Wine collection and shop owner. Virgil banters with the owner for a while, and then tells him that he's looking for a particular wine. The owner acknowledges that Virgil isn't a shady person and tells him he can go into the cellar to look for the wine, because he doesn't remember where it is, but he's sure it's down there somewhere. To Moon City. To cellar. It's rather dusty. There are several barrels on the other side of the room. You have reached cellar entrance. Wines of the room. Well, these wines seem very recent and kind of cheap. What Virgil is looking for isn't among them. To left cellar. To right cellar. To drugstore entrance. Wines of the room. To left cellar. To right. There are no barrels here, but there's some bottles here and there. Virgil can see a broom and other cleaning tools lying on the wall. You have reached cellar, right of entrance. Wines of the room. Oh, these bottles are actually empty if observed up close. Due to the poor lighting of the place, they seem full at a distance. They will probably be filled by the owner sooner or later. The wine Virgil is looking for must be somewhere else. Broom. It looks kind of old, and the straw bristles are ruined. It will need to be replaced soon. It won't clean much in this state. To cellar entrance. Wines of the room. Broom. To cellar entrance. You have reached cellar entrance. Wines of the room. To left cellar. The barrels continue. Some of these seem to have been cleaned and some not. There are some bottles close to the barrels here. You have reached wines of the room. To the end of the cellar. To the cellar's entrance. Cabinet. A small cabinet filled with empty bottles. They're odorless and look clean. They must have been washed. Wines of the room. To the cellar's cabinet. Wines of the room. These wines seem to come from other countries and have some exotic names. Virgil can't read some of them because he's not multilingual, and the wine he's looking for has its label written in English. It must be somewhere else. To the end of the cellar's cabinet. Wines of the room. To the end of the cellar. The room ends here. Virgil can see some bottles stored in a showcase, which seems to have been cleaned recently. You have reached end of the cellar. Wines of the room. To the left cellar. Wardrobe. Wines of the room. Wardrobe. Wardrobe is empty. It's probably a leftover from the business that came before the drugstore, or the owner intended its use for storage purposes. Wines of the room. In the showcase are stored several bottles of the same brand, which actually is the one Virgil is looking for. He thinks that Ross must be a trusted customer of the place, so much so that an entire part of the cellar is allocated to the wine he likes so much. Virgil takes a bottle with him. Wardrobe. To the left cellar. Wardrobe. To the left. You have reached cellar. Wines of the room. To the end of the cellar. To the cellar's entrance. You have reached cellar entrance. Wines of the room. To left cellar. To drugstore entrance. You have reached drugstore entrance. Wine collection and shop owner. Virgil banters with the owner for a while, and then tells him that he's looking for to Moon City. You have reached the drugstore to First Street, number 7. To First Street, number 19. You have reached pharmacy to First Street, number 25. You have reached the club district. You have save point. Save the game to Blues Club. You have reached bartender. Comb liquors to main room. You have reached paintings, dinner to Virgil's father to manager's office. You have reached manager's office. Manager. Since Virgil has the wine brand Ross likes so much, he gives it to him. And now, Ross starts to listen. He tells Virgil that the second thing he likes are pets, and very much so. Virgil takes this as an opportunity and tells him about the moonwalks and how he'd like to be a part of them. Ross seems interested in what Virgil is saying and says that he'd like to bet on him, and as long as he keeps winning, he'll allow his father to stay. This is the breakthrough Virgil has been looking for. This, and the fact that keeping a recreational place for his father is a good thing for his mental health. This gets Virgil very motivated to see this through. Clean table. Manager. The manager tells Virgil that he's giving him a car for the races, but the first thing he has to do is to make it invisible to the eyes of the law. Ross has talked to the city mechanic. They established that he can do that, but only if Virgil gets him 3 car parts that have been stolen from him in the city. Lastly, he reminds Virgil to keep winning if he wants to keep his father here. He smirks as he says so, and Virgil hides his frustration. Ross tells Virgil that the 3 car parts of the downtown mechanic can be found in the west part of the city, before the suburbs. Ross tells Virgil that the 3 car part. Clean table to main room. You have reached paintings, dinner table, Virgil's to manager's office, to Blues Club entrance. You have reached bartender, co-manager, liquors and alcohol to main room, to Moon City. You have reached save point. Save the game to Blues Club, to First Street, number 25. Save point to First. You have reached to the club district, to First Street, number 31. To First Street, number 19. To the club district, to First. You have reached pharmacy, to First Street, number 25. To downtown center. To drugstore, to First Street, number 7. You have reached mechanic. Virgil doesn't have all the pieces he needs to modify. Save point, to race circuit, to First Street, number 1. You have reached the 7th Avenue, number 8. You have reached 7th Avenue to First Street. Teen dealer. An arms dealer who nonchalantly sits upon a set of car tires. He says that a dude who wishes to remain anonymous recently sold them to him for a very low price. He says he can give them to Virgil if he brings him some high-quality drugs. To 7th Avenue, to First Street, number 1. Teen. To First Street, number 1. You have reached to 7th Avenue, number 8. To First High School. To 7th Avenue, to First Street. You have reached mechanic, save point, to race circuit, to First Street, number 1. to downtown center. Mechanic, to down... You have reached the drugstore to First Street, to 2nd Avenue. Moon City, to 2nd Avenue. You have reached downtown Main Square to 2nd Ave, Dollar Store, downtown to 2nd Avenue, number 13. You have reached Save Point to 2nd Avenue. Save the to 2nd to Ghetto to 2nd Avenue, number 20. Teenagers to Save Point to 2nd Avenue. You have reached Street Lamp to 2nd Ave to 5th Street. Street Lamp to 2nd Avenue, number 13. To 2nd Ave. You have truck driver to 2nd Avenue. To 2nd Ave truck driver to 2nd Avenue, number 34. You have Save Point to 2nd Avenue to 11th Street to 11th Fishmonger. Save Point to 2nd Avenue, number 27. You have truck driver to 2nd Avenue, number 34. To 2nd Avenue, number 20. You have Street Lamp to 2nd Avenue, number 13. To 2nd Avenue, number 27. To 2nd. Save Point to 2nd Avenue, number 6. Downtown Center, Main Square to 2nd Ave, Dollar Store, downtown center. You have reached the drugstore to 1st Street, number 7. To 1st Street, number 9. You have reached Pharmacy to 1st Street, down to Main Square. Fancy looking house. Pharmacy to 1st Street, number 25. You have reached the Club District. First to the Club District. 1st Street, number 31. You have reached to 1st Street. To 1st Street, Elementary and to 1st Street, number 34. You have trusted drug dealer. The old friend of Virgil has moved here. He explains to him that an arms dealer he met doesn't want money, but drugs in exchange for the car part, and asks him if he had any spare weed for this transaction. He does, and says that if Virgil pays him for this stuff and the other stuff he gave him for Virgil's dad, he'd give him a superior quality batch instead. Virgil, having just enough money on him and deeming a superior quality product more likely to be accepted for the transaction, accepts the offer and gets the high quality weed. To 1st Street, number 31. To 2nd Road to the Eastern Desert. Trusted drug. To 1st Street, number 31. You have reached to 1st Street, number 34. To 1st Street, number 25. Elementary to 1st. You have reached to the Club District. 1st Street, number 31. To 1st Street, number 19. You have reached Pharmacy to 1st Downtown Center. You have reached the drugstore to 1st Street, number 7. You have reached Mechanic, Save Point to Race Circuit. Save the game to race to 1st Street, number 1. You have reached to 7th Avenue to 1st Street High School to 7th Avenue. You have reached to 7th Avenue to 1st Street. Team dealer. Virgil has exchanged the drugs for the engine piece. The guy looks very pleased with the trade. To 7th to 1st Street. Team to 7th Avenue, number 16. You have reached pawn shop entrance. A pawn shop located in this part of town, farther from the eyes of the law, and so more likely to have some illegal contraband within. The owner is very hostile towards Virgil,
and threatens him with a gun since he realizes Virgil is a policeman. Virgil, not wanting to resort to force, leaves. He'll have to find another way in. Road to the suburb, to outskirts, to 7th Ave, elderly woman, to 7th Avenue, number 8, to outskirts. You have reached young adult, to out-of-town road, to hotel nightclub, to 7th Avenue, number 6, young adult, to out-of-town road. You have reached pawn shop back entrance. This is the back of the illegal pawn shop on this side of town. It seems unlocked, and it likely has some weapons inside. Virgil decides to sneak in, and fortunately can see the stolen car part near the door. It's not his in the first place, right? So taking it shouldn't pose a problem, or be a basis upon which one would file a complaint, Virgil thinks, as he grabs it and leaves. To facilities, to house backyard, to outskirts, to facilities, to house backyard, to outskirts, to facility, to house backyard. An unkept backyard. Virgil can see the shutter to a garage door that has been left open. There's no one in at the moment, so it's better if Virgil takes what he needs as soon as possible and leaves. You have reached backyard. Shrubbery. To Lone Shark Garage. To Moon City. Shrubbery. A shrubbery. It's not been attended to in a while. To Lone Shark Garage. Gray Garage. There are some rectangular columns left and right which support the structure, and there are roughly 3 piles of items scattered on the floor. You have reached Lone Shark Garage. Dusty furniture, car parts, briefcases. To backyard. Dusty furniture. Furniture. All the drawers are empty. Car parts, briefcases. 3 brown briefcases. They're locked, very light, and nothing can be heard moving inside if they are given a shake, so they're probably empty. To backyard. Dusty furniture, car parts, some car parts. Among them, Virgil finds something that can still be used for the races, and takes it with him. To backyard. You have reached backyard. Shrubbery. To Lone Shark Garage. To Moon City. You have reached out-of-town road. To house backyard. To facilities. To outskirts. You have reached outskirts. Young adult. To out-of-town road. To hotel nightclub. To 7th Avenue. Number 6. You have reached pawn shop entrance. Road to the suburb. To outskirts. To 7th Avenue. Number 8. You have reached to 7th Avenue. To 1st Street. You have reached to 7th Avenue. To 1st Street. Number 7. You have reached mechanic. Save point. Save the game. Mechanic. The mechanic applies all the upgrades and repairs that Virgil requests. The car is now ready to go. The man begins his work and clears the car from any register. But now Virgil has to recover the pieces for the car modifications. The moonwalks aren't a joke. The first he needs to get is nitro, then an engine modification. To do this, the mechanic asks for money that Virgil doesn't have. The guy strikes a deal with Virgil. If he delivers a very rare car from one side of the city to the other, the modifications will be done for free. Virgil accepts and gets in the car. But after just a few minutes, a bunch of dudes on motorcycles start getting closer and try to surround the vehicle. They pull out guns. Virgil pushes the accelerator and has to shake them off. Get ready. Start in 3, 2, 1. Obstacle on the right. Obstacle on the left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed.
Right. Center. Virgil gets hit. Obstacle on the left. Obstacle on the right. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Track completed. Right, 50%. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Right. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left. Virgil gets hit. Obstacle to the center. Obstacle on the right. Left turn incoming. Turn complete. Escape is over. Virgil successfully escaped. Virgil escapes the bikers, drives the car to the destination, and returns to the mechanic. The mechanic installs the nitro and the engine modification in Virgil's car, and tells Virgil that it's possible to race now that the preparations are mostly complete. He asks Virgil to go to the racetrack and talk to the organizer. You have reached mechanic. Save point. Save the game? Mechanic. Virgil doesn't need anything from this person right now. Save point. To race circuit. Virgil meets the race organizer, who informs him that there's a subscription to be paid in order to enter the moonwalks. The amount is way too high, but the organizer tells him that he can accept weapons instead of money if one is short on that. 4 of them of decent to high quality should be good, he says. Virgil's got to seek these weapons. He thinks he can probably find them near the downtown area, since Moon City is so corrupt. To First Street, the downtown center. Mechanic. The downtown center. You have reached the drugstore. To First Street, number 7. To First Street, to 2nd Avenue. Numbers Moon City Bank. Washed up cello case near trash. To drugstore. Washed up. What's a cello case doing here? Thanks, Virgil. Visibly confused by the stark contrast that it makes with the stinky garbage bags lying beside it. He's curious, so he tries to open the case and... there's a rifle inside. It's probably been left here recently by some gangs, to be picked up by its buyer. Needing weapons to sell to pay for the race subscription, he doesn't think about it twice, and, after making sure no one is watching him, stashes the rifle in the trunk of his car and leaves the case where he found it. To drugstore. To First Street, number 7. To First Street, number 19. To 2nd Avenue, number 6. Moon City, to First Street, to 2nd Avenue. You have reached downtown center, Main Square. To 2nd Avenue, dollar store, downtown center, Main Square. Man reading a newspaper. First Street, to 2nd Avenue. Man reading First Street, number 19. You have pharmacy. To First Street, number 25. To downtown center, to Main Square. Fancy looking house. Pharmacy. Fancy look. An extravagant apartment, which looks to have been built by a famous designer recognizable by the pharmacy. To First Street, number 25. To downtown center, to Main Square. To You have reached a drugstore. To First Street, number 7. Mechanic. Save point. Save the race circuit to First Street, number 1. To 7th Avenue to First Street, number 7. High School. To narrow alley, to alley. To 7th Avenue, to narrow alley, to alley. A dark alley. It's kinda narrow. Virgil can see something interesting in the distance. You have reached wall. To meeting point. To Moon City. Wall. A graffitied brick wall. The graffiti is horrible, very amateurish. It has no artistic merit whatsoever. To meeting point. The end of the alley. There's just a wall and a person in the middle. It's a man in a suit. You have reached meeting point. Ghetto buildings. Man in a suit. To alley. Ghetto buildings. The buildings of the ghetto can be seen from their back. They're in general state of disrepair, and quite different looking from the buildings from downtown. The difference is staggering. Man in a suit. The person hands Virgil a loaded gun and leaves, without saying a word. Ghetto building. To alley. Ghetto building. To alley. You have reached at wall. To meeting point. To Moon City. You have reached the 7th to First High School. To narrow alley. To alley. To narrow alley. It seems like a dead end, but on closer inspection, Virgil realizes that there's actually a passage on the far left leading to a slightly bigger space between buildings. Virgil can hear some voices coming from there. You have reached narrow alley. Window. To hidden place. To Moon City. Window. A clouded window of an apartment nearby. Virgil can't see inside. To hidden place. As soon as Virgil enters, 2 gangsters who are talking about what to do with the machine gun notice him and pull out their guns. To fight, swipe up to attack. Tap 2 times to take medicine, and tap once to hear Virgil's health amount. When the enemy attacks, swipe left, right, or down to dodge in that direction. You have reached narrow alley. Swipe left or swipe right to move. Gangsters. The shootout has begun. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. Shots on the right. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. Shots on the left. Shots on the left. Virgil gets hit. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. He has Virgil. Shots on the right. He's again in good shape. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. Virgil gets hit. Shots in the middle. Victory. Virgil gets some medicine. Double tap to continue. Machine gun. A heavy machine gun. This should get Virgil quite a sum. He puts it in the trunk of his car, albeit with some difficulty since it's heavier than he expected. To narrow alley. Fence. To narrow alley. Fence. It's a 3-meter high wood fence, but the planks are slightly separated from each other, and Virgil can see through them a bit. Suburban houses can be seen in the distance. To narrow alley. Fence. To narrow alley. You have reached narrow alley. Window. To hidden place. To Moon City. You have reached the 7th Avenue to First Street, number 7, High School. To First. You have reached mechanic. Save point. Save the game. To race circuit. The race organizers suggest Virgil go look for the 4 weapons near the downtown and First Street, number 1. That area has many alleys just out of sight, which makes it perfect for hiding illegal weapons. An abandoned apartment, which was previously owned by an ex-gangster, is also near there. To First Street, number 1. To downtown center. To First. You have reached the 7th Avenue, number 8, the first high school to narrow to alley. The 7th Avenue, number 8. You have reached the 7th Avenue to First Street, team, to apartment complex. A normal-looking apartment complex. The walls and floor are of white marble. There is a staircase leading upstairs, but the flat Virgil is looking for is on the ground floor. You have reached apartment complex entrance. Plant. To apartment. Plant. A nice potted palm plant, about 6 feet tall. Part of the decor of the place. Nothing out of the ordinary. To apartment. To Moon City. Plant. To apartment. The door is unlocked, and the place seems uninhabited. There are a few pieces of furniture, a couch, and a TV. According to some sources, one of the 4 weapons Virgil is looking for must have been left here somewhere. You have reached apartment. Cabinet. An empty wooden cabinet in the kitchen. Virgil can see some files inside. Couch. A dusty couch of black leather. There's nothing on it or under the cushions. Cabinet. An empty wooden cabinet. Couch. Wardrobe. An empty wooden wardrobe. There's nothing but dust inside. Couch. Drawer. To apartment complex cabinet. Couch. Drawer. It's not closed. And inside Virgil finds a loaded gun. He takes it with him. To apartment complex entrance. You have reached apartment plant to Moon City. You have reached 7th Avenue to 7th Avenue, number 16, to First Street, number 1. You have reached the 7th to First Street, number 7. You have reached mechanic, save point. You save the game to race circuit. The organizer is satisfied with the quality of the merchandise and considers the subscription paid. Virgil can now enter those damned races. To First Street, number 1, the downtown mechanic, save point. You save the game to race circuit. Virgil drives to the track where he's supposed to race Camille. Virgil needs someone to help him with the races. He doesn't know many people in Moon City. The only ones he's met in recent years are his father's drug dealer. Well, he knows Moon City and its streets. And then, you can't tell by looks, can you? The drug dealer is called Ben. He calls him, this time not for drugs, and Ben accepts. After all, Virgil presents a shock in his life in a shabby studio apartment on the outskirts of Moon City. The moonwalks are dominated by the 5, the best drivers around and very close to Mr. Sin. Virgil and Ben prepare to face the first, the French Camille. The betting man accepts their car, which has the necessary modifications to run. Get ready. Start in 3, 2, 1. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. 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 Track completed at 50%. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right 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 turn incoming. The race is over. Virgil won the race. After winning the race against the French Camille, the criminal world begins to look at Virgil with some respect, but the rivalry of others grows. A few days pass, and one morning it seems that someone sabotaged Virgil's car before the race against his next opponent, HG. It may have been one of HG's men, but Virgil has no proof to prove that. He has no choice but to return to the highly specialized Moonwalks mechanic, who makes a simple offer to Virgil. He will work for free if Virgil follows a certain politician who has seen his last race with a chick who seems to be his lover. The mechanic says he is sure that this is the politician he has seen many times on TV with a woman other than that girl. Often men of power see the Moonwalks with their lovers, and now he wants to take advantage of them. Virgil simply needs to take a photo to prove his relationship, so that the mechanic can blackmail the politician for a bunch of money. The policeman is forced to accept. You have reached first mechanic. Save point. Save the game. Mechanic. Virgil doesn't have the photos of the politician yet. He can be found in a nightclub in the harbor, which is south from here. Save point. To race circuit. To First Street. Number 1. To downtown center. You have reached to Drunks. To Second Moon City. To Second Avenue. Number 6. Downtown Center, Main to Second Avenue, number 13. You have reached Save Point to Second Avenue, number 6. To Ghetto, to Second Avenue, number 20. You have reached Street Lamp to Second Avenue, number 13. To Second Avenue. You have reached Truck Driver to Second Avenue, number 34. You have reached Save Point. Save the game to Second Avenue to 11th Street, number 1. You have reached 11th Street Garage to Nightclub. The mechanic told Virgil that this is the nightclub the politician would be attending. It has a marble floor with a black and white chess-like pattern and soft pink lighting. Virgil can see the receptionist on the right, wearing a suit. You have reached nightclub entrance. Coat hanger. A coat hanger. 3 coats are being kept here. Receptionist. He welcomes Virgil in a very host-like manner. He must have been doing his job for quite some time. To main room. To Moon City. Coat hanger. Reception to main. The main room has a stage and some tables. There seems to be no one here but 2 people talking on the left. You have reached main room. Strip pole and politician. Middle-aged woman to side room. To entrance. Strip pole and an empty stage with a strip pole in the center. It has a smooth white surface which is very clean. Virgil can see black curtains on the back. To entrance, strip pole, and stage. Politician. This is Virgil's target. He seems to be talking amicably with the woman on his side, and is too busy to notice Virgil at all. Middle-aged woman. A blonde woman which is talking to the politician. Once in a while, Virgil can hear flirtatious lines from both sides. To side room. To enter. Strip. Politician. Middle. To side room. The side room is just like the main room, but farther to the right and not visible from the entrance. There are some people here, and the tables are the same, small and round, like the ones in the main room. You have reached side room. Table. Client. Bathroom door. Bodyguard. To main room. Table. Oh, this table seems to be in a blind spot from the politician's perspective, while also allowing Virgil to take pictures of him. As soon as he does that a few times, a bodyguard nearby notices and threatens to destroy the camera. Virgil retaliates. The shootout has begun. Shots on the left. Shots on the right. Shots on the left. Shots on the right. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots in the middle. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. 100% life point. Shots in the middle. He's in great shape. Shots on the right. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. Shots on the left. Victory. Virgil gets some medicine. Double tap to continue. Client. The client of the bar. He's a young man, probably in his 30s, with a Hawaiian shirt on. He seems pretty chill. Bathroom door. Virgil doesn't need to go right now, which is fortunate given that what he's about to do is better done with an empty bladder. To main room. Client. Bathroom door. To main room. You have reached main room. Strip bowl. To side room. To entrance. Strip bowl. To side room. To entrance. You have reached nightclub entrance. Coat hanger. Receptionist. To main room. To Moon City. Coat hanger. To Moon. You have reached garage. To nightclub. To 2nd Avenue, number 34. You have reached save point. To 2nd save. Save the game. To 2nd Avenue, number 27. You have reached truck driver. To 2nd Avenue, number 34. To 2nd Avenue. You have reached street lamp. To 2nd Avenue, number 13. You have reached second save point. Save the game. To 2nd Avenue, number 6. You have reached downtown center. Main square. You have reached the drugstore. To 1st Street, number 7. You have reached mechanic. Save point. Save the game. Mechanic. After receiving the photos, the mechanic looks very pleased and starts working on the car. Virgil's now ready to face the second of the 5, the English driver, HG. He looks and acts like a classic English gentleman of the last century. But as soon as the race starts, the first thing he does is pull out a gun and start shooting at Virgil's car. He misses the target, but one thing is clear. From here on, the races are going to be merciless, and any mistake can be paid with one's life. Get ready. Start in 3, 2, 1. Obstacle in the center. Obstacle on the left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Virgil gets hit. Obstacle in the center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Track completed at 50%. Right. Center! Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center! Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Left turn incoming. The race is over. Virgil won the race. To face Doppler, Virgil's next opponent, the car needs to be reinforced against any shots. For reinforcement, he has to retrieve around the city map 6 materials that are needed for the job. Each of them is likely held by a different receiver, and the suburbs seem the best place to find them because it's the territory of street gangs, which have a fervent passion for the moonwalks. Virgil decides to go there to find what he needs. You have reached First Street. Mechanic. Save point. Save the game. Mechanic. To face Doppler, Virgil's next to save point. To race circuit. To First Street. Number 1. You have reached the 7th Avenue. To First Street. The 7th Avenue. Number 8. You have reached 7th Avenue. To 7th Avenue. Number 16. You have reached 7th Avenue. Pawn Shop and Road to the Suburbs. You have reached Save Point. Bus save the game. Bus stop to Suburbs. 7th Avenue to Sub. Here the downtown ends and the suburbs begin. They're an endless stream of identical houses, only distinguishable by their street number. Virgil has been told by gangsters that there's an engine piece hidden near the shed of a brown house, so he needs to look out for that. You have reached Suburbs entrance. Signpost. It says Moon City downtown 4 miles, pointing east, and Moon City suburbs 1 mile, pointing west. To Suburbs, Main Street, to Moon City. Signpost. To Suburbs, Main Street, number 4. Here, Virgil can see a young boy, probably 16. The stream of white houses, each with a garage and a mailbox and nothing else besides windows and doors, continues. You have reached Main Street, number 4. Young guy. This boy greets Virgil and recognizes that he's not from around here. He warns him about the fact that this part of town is seemingly housing several gangsters, and to watch out who Virgil talks to on the street. Because, while everything seems fine at first sight, not everyone is clean here. Virgil tells him about the car part that he needs, and the boy remembers to have seen something that could be useful in a garbage pile here. To Suburbs, Main Street. To Suburbs, entrance. Young guy. To Suburbs, Main Street, number 15. To Suburb, young guy. To Suburbs, entrance. There seems to be an intersection here that says 3rd Avenue. Might warrant an inspection. You have reached Main's children. 2 children are playing on the sidewalk, being careful and paying attention so they don't fall into the street by accident. To Suburbs, 15th Avenue, number 3. To Suburbs, Main Street, number 27. To Suburbs, Main Street, number 4. Children. To Suburbs, 15th Avenue, number 3. To Suburbs, Main Street, number 20. From here, Virgil can go backwards or to the 27th Avenue, as the main street and the houses seem to come to an end. A vast cornfield stands before Virgil, behind which there is only desert. You have reached Main Street number 27. Annoyed gangster. To end of Main Street. To suburbs. 27th Avenue. To suburbs. Main Street. Number 15. Mailbox. This mailbox is overflowing with letters, and every window of its house is barred shut with planks of wood. The house is obviously for sale, but the previous owner must have forgotten to tell a few companies the new address. Annoyed gangster. To suburbs. 27th Avenue. Number 7. To suburbs. Main Street. Number 15. Mailbox. Annoyed gangster. To end of Main Street. To the end of Main Street. There seems to be nothing else here except a broader street between two of the last houses. Might warrant a closer look. You have reached Main Street number 27. Pile of garbage. Lo and behold, there actually seems to be an engine piece among all this mess. It seems in decent shape, just a bit rusty. The mechanic can probably polish it and make it functional again. Virgil takes the piece with him. To alley. To suburbs. Main Street. Garish car. To alley. Garish. A very flashy looking car. It's been heavily modified and doesn't have a license plate. It's immaculate. It's either new or it's been washed recently. To alley. The street looks more like an alley, in which there's nothing but the two white walls of the houses that surround it. A decrepit house can be seen far ahead. You have reached alley. Fence. To abandoned house. To end of Main Street. Fence. A fence made of steel rings, 3 meters high. The sea can be seen in the distance. Before it, there's just barren land. To abandoned house. An abandoned wooden house stands amidst the cornfield. It's getting dark brown with age, the wood rotting. It's probably 40 years old. The house is in complete ruin, not fit to be explored without major risks. It's a miracle it's been standing there for all this time. Virgil can see a young man with ragged clothes and a peaceful expression sitting on the steps to the entrance. You have reached abandoned house. Drug dealer. Sitting on the house steps, this guy tells Virgil that he does have an engine piece in the back, and that if he wants it, he can have it in exchange for some weed. The man seems to be craving the substance, and Virgil knows exactly the person to look for if someone needs this kind of drug. Cornfield. Cornfield can be seen extending for a few miles surrounding the house. To alley. Drug dealer. To alley. You have reached fence. To abandon. To end of Main Street. You have reached garish car. To alley. To suburbs. Main Street number 27. Garish car. To alley. To suburbs. Main Street number 20. You have reached annoyed gang. To end of Main Street. To the end of Main Street. To suburbs. 27th Avenue. Number 7. The road ends, turning left to the main street. The guy in a suit seems to want to talk to Virgil. You have reached 27th Avenue, number 7. Easygoing gangster. To suburbs, Main Street, number 27. To suburbs, 15th Avenue, number 3. Easygoing gangster. Virgil tells this gangster that he's looking for some hot engine stuff for a race. The guy answers him that if he can take out an annoying gangster nearby that is crazy for races, he can take one of his engine pieces that he always carries around and get one from that guy too. He says he's going to fetch it real quick if Virgil complies. To suburbs, Main Street, number 27. To suburbs, 15th Avenue, number 3. Virgil can see a house that has been painted brown here. It must be what he's been told about. There's also a sign that reads 27th Avenue. You have reached 15th Avenue, number 3. Angry gangster. To Brown House. To suburbs, to suburbs. Trash can. The trash can is empty. Must have been empty this morning. Angry gangster. To Brown House. This house looks exactly like the others, except it's brown instead of white. The mailbox still looks like the others, though. The house also has a shed outside. You have reached Brown House. Save point. You save the game. Cluster of steel materials. Among these scraps, there seems to be an intact engine piece. It's probably been left here for a reason, but since there's no one around, Virgil sneakily puts it in his car. To suburbs, 15th save point. You save the game to shed. Virgil has other business to take care of. Doesn't need to go there now. To suburbs, 15th Avenue, number 3, save point. To shed. To suburbs, 15th Avenue, number 3. Angry Gangster to Brown House. To suburbs, 27th Avenue, number 7. To suburbs, Main Street, number 15. Trash can. Angry Gangster. This gangster recognizes Virgil as a cop and immediately pulls out his gun before he even has a chance to talk. Virgil must defend himself immediately. The shootout has begun. Virgil gets hit. Shots in the middle. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. Shots in the Virgil. Shots on the right. He's again and shots on the left. Shots on the right. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. Shots in the middle. Shots in the middle. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. Less than 50% Virgil gets hit. Virgil gets hit. Swipe left to load the last save game. You have reached Brown House, save point. To shed. To suburbs, 15th Avenue, number 3. You have reached Angry Gangster. This gangster recognizes the shootout has begun. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. Shots on the right. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. Shots on the right. Virgil gets less than 50% life. Virgil gets hit.
He's not taking his
Swipe
fucking
left to
medicine.
load the last save game. You have reached Brown save point. To shed. To suburbs. You have reached Angry Gangster. This game. The shootout has begun. Shots on the right. Shots in the middle. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. 100% life in the middle. He's in great shape. Shots in the middle.
Oh, come on.
Voiceover on. Face not recognized. Screen curtain on. Try again. Try Face ID again. Button. Button. Try again. Face not recognized. Face not recognized. Snapchat. 27. Try again. Try again. Try Face ID again. Button. Instagram. Face ID authenticated. Landscape. Charge port to the left. Direct touch area. Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app. Direct touch area. Use the rotor to enable direct touch for this app. Voiceover on.
Swipe left to
That
load
was
the last
stupid.
save game. Swipe right to go back to the main menu. You have reached Brown House, save point. To shed. To suburbs, 15th Avenue, number 3. You have reached 15th Avenue. Angry Gangster. This gangster. The shootout has begun. Shots on the right. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. Shots on the right. Shots on the left. Shots on the left. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. Less than 50% life. Virgil uses a medicine. He begins to falter. Ready to start. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. Shots on the right. 100% life points. Virgil gets victory.
Damn bastard.
Virgil gets a car part. Double tap to continue. To Brown House. To suburbs. To suburb. Trash can. To Brown House.
Let me save it. That guy was a pain.
You have reached save point. Save the game. To shed. To suburbs. Save. To shed. To suburbs. You have reached to Brown House, to Suburbs, 27th Avenue, number 7. You have easygoing gangster. Virgil tells this gangster that he's looking for some hot engine stuff for a race. The guy answers him that if he can take out an annoying gangster nearby that is crazy for races, he can take one of his engine pieces that he always carries around and get one from that guy too. He says he's going to fetch it real quick. To Suburbs, Main Street, number 27. To Suburbs, 15th Avenue, number 3. Easygoing gangster. To Suburbs, Main... You have reached annoyed gangster. To end of Main Street. To Suburbs, mailbox. Annoyed gangster. This gangster seems pissed and is talking to himself about how much money he's lost in the moonwalks. Virgil tells him that he's looking for engine pieces, and the gangster thinks that he's a pilot that made him lose a bet in the last race. Virgil tries to explain, but he doesn't listen. He attacks out of anger. The shootout has begun. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. 100% life in the middle. He's in great shape. Shots on the left. Shots on the right. Virgil gets hit and 75% life points. Shots on the right. He's a little stunned. Shots in the middle. Victory. Virgil gets a car part. Double tap to continue. To end of Main to Suburbs mailbox. To end of Main to Suburbs, 27th Avenue, number 7. You have reached easygoing gangster. Having defeated the gangster, this guy gives Virgil the promised engine piece and leaves. He stashes it in the trunk of his car. To Suburbs, 15th Avenue, to Suburbs, Main Street, number 27. You have reached to end of Main Street, to Suburbs, 27th Avenue, to Suburbs, Main Street, number 15. You have children. To Suburbs, to Suburbs, Main Street. You have reached to end of Main Street, to Suburbs, 27th Avenue, to Suburbs, Main Street, number 15. You have the Suburbs, Main Street, number 4. You have reached to Suburbs, entrance. You have reached to Moon City. You have reached 7th Avenue, number 16. You elderly woman, to 7th elder pawn shop, elder to 7th Avenue, number 8. You have reached to apartment complex to 1st Street, number 1. You have reached to alley, to narrow high school, to 1st Street, number 7. You have reached mechanic, save the game, to racer, to the downtowns, to 1st Street, number 1. Mechanic, the down. You have reached to drunk, to 1st Street, number 7. To 1st Street, number 9. You have reached pharmacy, to 1st Street, number 25. You have to the club district, to 1st Street, number 31. You have reached to 1st Street, number 34. You have reached trusted drug dealer. Virgil explains to the trusted friend that a guy with an engine piece in the suburbs wants some weed in exchange for it. Virgil asks the dealer if he has some low-quality stuff for the guy, because he seemed to be really craving some and will probably be satisfied with anything. The dealer understands the situation
and gives him a small plastic bag with the herb, saying that it's on the house this time. Virgil thanks him, and the two go their separate ways after that. To 2nd Street Road to 1st Street, number 31. You have reached Elementary to 1st Street, number 25. To 1st Street, number 34. You have reached to 2nd Street to 1st Street, number 31. You have reached to 1st Street, number 34. To 1st Street, number 25. You have reached to the Club District, to 1st Street, number 31. To 1st Street, number 19. You have reached Pharmacy, to 1st Street, number 25. To Downtown Center. You have reached the drugstore to 1st Street, number 7. You mechanic, save point, save the game to racer to 1st to downtown to 1st Street, number 1. You have reached
Voiceover on. Landscape.
1
Charge
second,
4 to the
guys.
left. Fury driver. Moonwalk. Home. Port. Super tile smash. Double tap. Super tiles. Super screen recording in progress. 6:07 p.m.
Just
Button.
making
Status
sure
bar
it's
item.
still
App
recording.
switcher. Fury driver. Moonwalks. Active. Fury driver. Landscape.
Swipe
Voiceover
left or to 7th Avenue, number 8. You have reached 7th Avenue, number 16. You have reached 7th Avenue, number.
Voiceover on. Landscape. Charge port to the left. Low battery. Screen 20% battery. Low power. Close button.
Okay, we should be good for another 10%. Once it reaches 10%, I'll call it good.
Close button.
Number 16.
Fury driver. Moonwalks. Direct. Voiceover on.
Pawn shop entrance. Road to the suburbs. You have reached save point. You save the game. Bus stop to suburbs. 7th to sub. You have reached signpost to suburbs. Main Street. Number. You have reached young guy to suburbs. Main Street. Number. You have reached children to suburbs. 15th Avenue to suburbs. Main Street. Number 27. You have to end of Main Street. You have reached garish car to alley. Fence to abandoned house. You have reached drug dealer. The drug dealer deals Virgil the engine piece and leaves for the suburbs, happy with the exchange. To alley, cornfield, to alley, cornfield, to alley. You have reached fence to abandoned house to end of Main Street. You have reached to suburbs, Main Street, number 27, garish to suburbs. You have reached mailbox to suburbs, Main Street, number 15. You have reached to suburbs, Main Street, number 4. You have reached to suburbs, entrance. You have reached to Moon City. You have reached 7th Avenue, number 16. You have elderly woman to 7th Avenue, number 8. You have reached to apartment complex teen to 1st Street, number 1.
You have reached to Alley, to High School, to First Street. You have reached Mechanic. Save point. Save the game. Mechanic. Mechanic applies all the upgrades that Virgil requested, and some additional repairs. The car is now bulletproof and ready to go. Save point. Mechanic. Virgil doesn't need anything from this person. Save point. Save the game to race circuit. Virgil drives to the track where he's supposed to race Doppler. Virgil will now face the American driver Doppler, so called because he is so fast that he always and only leaves the sound of his engine moving away in his trail. Get ready. Start in 3, 2, 1. Obstacle on the left. Center. Virgil gets hit. Obstacle on the left. Right. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Right turn incoming. Track completed at 50%. Turn completed. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Center. Left turn incoming. The race is over. Virgil won the race. Virgil has defeated Doppler. Fontana, penultimate of the 5, is now waiting for Virgil to show up at the track to challenge him. You have reached First Street, number 7. Mechanic. Save point. Save the game. To race circuit. Virgil drives to the track where he's supposed to race Fontana. Penultimate of the 5, Fontana is an Italian mafioso living in America who has a strong passion for cars. Moody and ruthless, he will do anything in his power to assure his wins, and is no stranger to subterfuge. He has set up several traps along the circuit. Get ready. Start in 3, 2, 1. Obstacle to center. Right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Out of track. Turn incoming. Turn completed. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Out of track. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Track completed at 50%. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Obstacle on the left. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Center. The race is over. Virgil won the race. After the race, a man in a white racetrack suit and blonde hair greets Virgil and introduces himself. He is Almanon, the leader of the Five and Virgil's next opponent. He seems to be completely different from the other racers. He appears to be an honest driver, and so far he always won his races without any tricks. Turns out Almanon started running the moonwalks to get the money so that way he could pay for an operation for his daughter, who has a rare disease. Virgil realizes that Almanon's motivations are the same as his, to keep a loved one safe at any cost. Virgil decides to take a break and head back to the mechanic. He'll return to the Moonwalks race circuit when he feels ready. You have reached First Street, Mechanic. Save point. You save the game. Mechanic. Virgil doesn't need anything from this person right now. Save the race circuit. Virgil drives to the track where he's supposed to race Almanon. Virgil begins to race, but after a few seconds, Almanon's car breaks down, making him crash into the sidelines and leaving him in serious danger. Virgil cannot go on and leave him be. He stops, goes back to him, and manages to pull him out of the dangerous situation, saving his life. Almanon explains that his car was probably sabotaged by Fontana. He is so angry for losing the race against Virgil that he probably wanted to kill Almanon just to challenge Virgil again. After all, Almanon claims that Fontana has always hated him. The Italian has an ego too strong to admit that someone is stronger than him. Virgil decides to help him get a new car, agreeing to act as an escort man in a smuggling deal in the port, which he heard about from Ross. You have reached First Street, number 7, Mechanic. Save the game. Mechanic. Virgil doesn't need anything. Save the race circuit. Virgil decides to help Almanon get a new car, agreeing to act as an escort man in a smuggling deal in the port, which he heard about from Ross. To first, the downtown center. You have reached the drugstore. To First Street, number 7. To First Street, number 9. To 2nd Avenue, number 6. You have reached 2nd Avenue, number 6. Downtown Center, Main Square, to 2nd Avenue, number 13. You have reached 2nd Avenue, number 13. Save point, to 2nd Avenue, number 6. To Ghetto, to 2nd Avenue, number 20. You have reached Street Lamp, to 2nd Avenue, number 13. To 2nd Avenue, number 27. You have reached 2nd Avenue, number 27. Truck driver, to 2nd Avenue, number 34. You have reached Save Point, to Save Point. Save the game. To 2nd to 11th Street. To 11th Street. Number 3. You have reached containers to harbor entrance. To 2nd Avenue, number 34. Containers to harbor. The entrance of the harbor is plain, and the street changes from grainy to smooth concrete. Some containers can already be seen at both sides of the road in the near distance. You have reached harbor entrance. Parked trucks to harbor contain to Moon City. Parked trucks. Several trucks are parked at the side of the road, waiting for their turn to come into the innermost part of the harbor to load or unload things. To harbor to Moon's parked trucks. To harbor containers. Several containers can be seen here. There are so many side by side and on top of each other that they almost look like a small hill with a labyrinth near its base. Virgil can see some people here, which are either workers or belong to a more suspicious kind of trade. You have reached harbor containers. Crane. To harbor middle. To harbor entrance. Crane. A crane is loading cargo into the container from the top. It's moving the cargo very slowly to make sure it doesn't get damaged. To harbor middle. The containers end here, and further, there's only a pier with some boats moored in. A guy in a suit stands back against one of the containers, seemingly resting. You have reached harbor middle. Save point. You save the game? Dealer. To pier. To harbor. Harbor workers. Few workers are playing poker using a small metallic container as a table. Must be on break. Save point. Dealer. To pier. To harbor. The containers. Harbor workers. Save point. Dealer. This is the dealer whose goods might help Elmanon get the car he needs if he sells them. Virgil starts talking to him, trying to establish a good deal. But as soon as the two reach an agreement, the dealer pulls out a gun and two other cohorts show up. Virgil must defend himself immediately. The shootout has begun. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. 100% life points. He's in great shape. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. Shots on the right. Shots on the right. Shots on the right. 100% life points. He's in great shape. Shots in the middle. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots in the middle. Victory! Virgil gets some medicine. Double tap to continue. Save point. You save the game? To pier. To harbor. Harbor workers. Save point. To pier. There's almost nothing here. The sea is the only thing to be seen looking forward. For at the left, right, and back, there's only Moon City. You have boat. Sea. To harbor. Boat. A moored boat is near the edge of the harbor. It's a plain-looking white sailboat, and there appears to be no one on it. Sea. The sea can be seen from here, extending apparently infinitely. It's calm, and the sky is clear. To harbor. The middle. You have reached save point. To pier. To harbor. The containers. Harbor worker. Save point. Harbor. To harbor. You have reached harbor. Containers. Crane. To harbor. Middle. To harbor entrance. Crane. To harbor. You have reached harbor. Entrance. Parked trucks. To harbor. Containers. To Moon City. Parked trucks. To Moon. You have reached 11th Street, number 3. Containers. To harbor entrance. To 2nd Avenue, number 34. Containers. to 2nd Avenue. You have reached save point. Save the game to 2nd Avenue, number 27, to 11th Street, number 1, to 11th Street, number 3. Fishmonger, save point to 2nd Avenue. You have reached truck driver. He's a plump man wearing a red shirt and blue overalls. To 2nd Avenue, number 20. Truck driver. To 2nd Avenue. You have reached street lamp. To 2nd Avenue, number 13. To 2nd Avenue, number 27. To 2nd. You have save point. Save the to 2nd Avenue, number 6. You have downtown center, Main's downtown. You have reached the drugstore to 1st Street, number 7. You have reached mechanic. Save the game. Mechanic. Virgil doesn't need anything. Save to race circuit. For the 2nd time, Virgil drives to the track where he's supposed to race Almanin. He meets the man and hands over the crates picked up at the harbor. Almanin immediately calls a short and plump man in a white tuxedo near his new car, clearly a loan shark for whom he got the money to pay for the vehicle, and sells him the merchandise. The small man looks satisfied and leaves, considering the debt repaid. Both are ready to start the race. Virgil and Almanin exchange a few words before getting into their cars. The latter is grateful for the help the former has given him, but he has no intention of bypassing the moonwalk's rules. Despite the friendship, there is only one way to decide who wins. Virgil understands and appreciates Almanin's sportsmanship. Virgil thinks that maybe this time there will be no tricks, and this will be just a regular race. One glimmer of humanity in the abyss of the squalor that is Moon City. The two men get into their cars and move to their starting positions, ready to go. Get ready. Start in 3, 2, 1. Obstacle in the center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Track turn incoming. 50%. Turn completed. Turn. Right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Obstacle on the left. Obstacle in the center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Right. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Virgil, left turn incoming. Turn completed. Obstacle on the right. Obstacle in the center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Center. Left turn incoming. The race is over. Virgil won the race. As soon as Virgil defeats Almanen and gets out of his car, Mr. Sin finally shows up. He's an average-sized man, dressed completely in black with his face covered by a mask made of cloth, and tells Virgil through a device that distorts his voice that he has watched him carefully during and outside the races, and that he wants him to join his team directly. Virgil realizes that he is about to reach his main goal. Now all that's left is earning the trust of the extremely dangerous boss, the chief of all the major crime in Moon City. He accepts. Mr. Sin seems particularly to trust him and immediately puts him in charge of an important task, that of collaborating on drug operations down at the port. Virgil agrees to head down there as soon as possible. You have reached First Street, Mechanic, save point. Save the game. To race to First Street, number 1, the downtown center. You have reached the drugstore to First Street, to First Street to 2nd Avenue. You have reached downtown Main Square to 2nd Avenue, number 13. You have reached Save Point to 2nd Avenue, number 6, to Ghetto, to 2nd Avenue, number 20. Street lamp to 2nd Avenue, number 13, to 2nd Avenue. You have reached truck driver to 2nd Avenue, number 34. You have reached Save Point. Save the game to 2nd to 11th Street, number 3. You have reached 11th Street, number 3. Containers to Harbor Entrance to 2nd Avenue, number 30. Containers to Harbor. Upon entering the harbor, Virgil is approached by a beautiful woman wearing an extravagant dress. She explains in a very strict manner that she's Sin's contact for the drug operation in Moon City. Virgil remembers reading a file on 2 women who helped Sin with drug operations. The press had known everything and nicknamed them Moon Goddesses. She, Virgil thinks, must be one of the 2. She assigns Virgil a mission. He has to travel to a warehouse complex on the other side of the city, bring back here all the weapons he can find, and hand them to a man who is one of their contacts in the containers section of the harbor. You have reached near the desert. Save point. Save the game. Desert. To the warehouses. To facility. Save point. Desert. To the warehouse. The warehouse, seen from the outside, is a square building with white exterior walls, which have been dirtied brown and black in time. Some patches of grass surround the building, and there's no one near the entrance doors. You have reached warehouse entrance. Grass surrounding the entrance. The grass is yellowish and dry due to excessive exposure to sun and lack of rain this season. To warehouse, northeast to Moon City. Grass surrounding the to warehouse, northeast. Inside, the warehouse has gray walls and floors. There are a lot of boxes of various sizes and materials lying around. There's also some items laying around. It functions as a deposit for who knows how many things. You have reached warehouse, northeast. Wooden boxes. To warehouse, north. To warehouse, east. To warehouse entrance. Wooden boxes. Some wooden smaller boxes. There's nothing inside them. To warehouse, north. There's nothing here but boxes. You have reached warehouse. Polystyrene container. A bright white polystyrene rectangular container without a lid. It contrasts a lot with the surrounding boxes. This container must have been misplaced. It's empty. To warehouse, northwest. To warehouse, center. To warehouse, northeast. Polystyrene container. To warehouse, northwest. This is the upper left corner of the building. There's something here that catches Virgil's eye. You have reached warehouse, northwest. Wooden case. To warehouse, west. To warehouse, north. Wooden case. A wooden case, long, about 50 centimeters. Upon opening it, Virgil finds a rifle inside. He takes it. To warehouse, north. To warehouse, west. Seems to be several cardboard boxes in this area of the warehouse. Other than that, there's nothing else that's interesting. You have reached cardboard box. A cardboard box left upside down on the floor. Virgil slowly lifts it and nothing's under there. No weapons, medications, drugs, or snakes, for that matter. To warehouse southwest. To warehouse center. To warehouse northwest. Cardboard box. To warehouse southwest. To warehouse center. The center of the building. Clothes of several different types of materials are stored in wooden boxes, one for each kind of cloth. You have reached warehouse, center. Piles of clothing. Some jean clothes lie in a box. There seems to be something hard underneath them. Upon closer inspection, Virgil finds a semi-automatic Tommy gun and takes it with him. To warehouse north. To warehouse east. To warehouse south. To warehouse west. To warehouse north. To warehouse east. Several wardrobes lie ordinately in several rows and columns. They're all dusty except for one in the front row. You have reached wardrobe. To warehouse southeast. To warehouse northeast. To warehouse center. Wardrobe. A wooden wardrobe. As soon as Virgil opens it, a rifle falls out. It's unloaded and the ammo is at the bottom of the wardrobe. To prevent the weapon from firing accidentally, Virgil takes both things with him. To warehouse northeast. You have reached warehouse northeast. Wooden boxes. Some wooden, smaller boxes. There's nothing inside them. To warehouse north. To warehouse east. To warehouse entrance. Wooden boxes. To warehouse east. You have to warehouse southeast. Several metal barrels are stored in the bottom right corner of the warehouse. They're not dusty at all, and there are some dragging marks on the floor, suggesting that the barrels have been moved here recently. You have reached warehouse southeast. Barrel. A metal barrel. Seems to be dirty with some traces of something slimy and odorless. There's nothing inside. To warehouse south. To warehouse east. Barrel. To warehouse south. To warehouse east. Barrel. A metal barrel. To warehouse south. Metal containers seem to be stored in this area of the building. You have reached metal case. A metal rectangular case. It's locked, but it's also very light, and Virgil doesn't hear anything moving within when he moves it around, so it's probably empty. To warehouse center. To warehouse southwest. To warehouse southeast. Metal case. To warehouse center. To warehouse southwest. There seems to be several black plastic containers of various sizes here. You have reached warehouse southwest. Small container. A small plastic container. It's way too small to have a weapon inside, and when Virgil looks inside, he finds it predictably empty. Briefcase. A briefcase has been left here. It's unlocked, and inside, there's a loaded gun. Virgil takes it with him. to warehouse west. Small container to warehouse south to warehouse west. You have reached cardboard box to warehouse southwest to warehouse center to warehouse northwest. Cardboard box to warehouse center. You have reached to warehouse west to warehouse north to warehouse east. To warehouse northeast. You have reached wooden box it to warehouse north to warehouse east to warehouse entrance. You have reached warehouse entrance. Grass surrounding to warehouse north to Moon City. Grass to Moon's. You have reached near the desert. Save point. You save the game. Desert. To the warehouses. To facility. Save point. To facility. You have reached facility. To the out-of-town road. To near the desert. To the out-of-town. You have reached outskirts. You have reached to 7th Avenue, number 16. You have reached elderly woman to 7th Avenue, number 8. You have reached to apartment complex team to 1st Street, number 1. You have reached to 7th Avenue, to 1st Street, number 7. You have reached mechanic, save point to race circuit, to 1st Street, number 1, to downtown. You have reached to drugstore, to 1st Street, to 2nd Avenue. You have reached dollar store, to 2nd Avenue, number 13. You have reached teenagers to get up to 2nd Avenue, number 20. You have reached to 5th Street, to 2nd Avenue, number 2. You have reached to 2nd Avenue, number 20. To 2nd Avenue, number 34. You have reached save point. Save the game to 2nd Avenue, to 11th Street, to 11th Street, number 3. You have containers to Harbor, to 2nd Avenue, number 30, to Harbor. You have reached Harbor entrance. Parked trucks to Harbor containers. To Moon City, to Harbor. You have reached Harbor containers. Crane to Harbor middle. To Harbor entrance. Serene gangster. Crane. Serene. As soon as Virgil tries handing the weapons to the gangster, 3 other men in suits from another gang show up, and they're pissed. They're saying that they were the ones that had an agreement with the gangster at the harbor, and the weapons in the warehouse were supposed to be theirs. Said gangster feigns ignorance, but the 3 dudes pull out their guns. Virgil must resolve the situation immediately. The shootout has begun. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. Shots on the left. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. 100% life points. Shots on the right. He's in great shape. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots on the left. Shots in the middle. Shots on the left. Shots on the right. 100% life points. He's in great shape. Shots in the middle. Victory! Virgil gets some medicine. Double tap. After the shootout with the enemy gang, Virgil looks for some crates so he can put the corpses in them to get rid of the evidence.
He's assisted by Hill, a drug addict girl who works for Sin to get the drug. The two begin working, and after a while they start talking. Hill tells Virgil that she is the kind of a handyman, adopted by a family since she has been abandoned by her real parents as a child. Despite her addiction, she has no choice but to work for Sin, because getting a normal job in her current condition is practically impossible. She seemed determined to seek medical help and quit her life as a member of the underground as soon as she gets enough money to live decently. Virgil feels sympathy for her situation. Maybe Moon City still has some hope. You have reached Harbor. Containers. Crane. To Harbor. Middle. To Harbor entrance. Crane. To Harbor. Middle. You have reached Harbor. Middle. Save point. Save the game. To pier. To Harbor. The Harbor workers. Save point. To pier. You have boat. Sea. To Harbor. The middle. Boat. To Harbor. You have reached save point. To pier. To Harbor. Harbor workers. Save point. To pier. To Harbor. The container. You have reached Harbor. Containers. Crane. To Harbor. Middle. To Harbor entrance. Crane. To Harbor. You have reached parked trucks. To Harbor. Containers. To Moon City. Parked trucks. To Moon. As soon as Virgil leaves the harbor, the moon goddess who requested the job approaches him and gets in the car without saying a word. She just tells him to go to the hotel nightclub in the northern part of the city. Sin has business with the owners, which are using the place as a roofing business for drug trafficking and are willing to enter his business. He never deals with these kinds of people directly, but it's the goddess's job. As a last remark, she tells Virgil that while they are on that place, he shouldn't talk unless given permission to, and leave every business decision to her. Virgil nods and starts driving to the nightclub. You have reached outskirts. Young adult. To out-of-town road. To hotel nightclub. To 7th Avenue. Number 6. Young adult. To 7th. To hotel nightclub. The place looks like a normal 3-star hotel. It has white walls and a brown marble floor, and it's well lit. A man in a jacket that appears to be the owner has been waiting for Virgil and the goddess at the entrance. As soon as they arrive, the goddess begins negotiations with the nightclub owners, and she tells Virgil to stay put, not take initiative, and not intervene. He also asks Virgil to check the hotel for anything suspicious. You have reached hotel, ground floor. Reception desk. The goddess. Owner of the nightclub, first floor. To Moon City. Reception desk. The reception desk is empty. The hotel is supposed to be closed at the moment. The goddess. The goddess is busy talking with the owner about Sin's business. She ignores Virgil. Owner of the nightclub. The owner tries to ignore Virgil as he focuses all of his attention on what the goddess is telling him. First floor. The first floor of the hotel has red velvet walls. 3 entrances to rooms can be seen. It appears to be a club hotel, where each room is fashioned in a particular way. There's also a guy in a tank top resting on one of the walls, looking up at the ceiling with a worried expression. You have reached hotel, save point. To save the game, stressed man. To modern room. To old-fashioned room. To medieval-looking room. To ground floor, save point. Stressed. This guy seems distraught. It's as if he's looking for something. When Virgil questions him about that, he answers that he remembers to have left a family photo in the establishment somewhere, but he doesn't remember where it is and can't move from his place due to his boss's orders. To modern room. This bedroom is the most normal here. It has a double bed with white sheets, a flat screen OLED TV, a normal bathroom. It's a room fitting for a 3-star hotel. Virgil thinks it's for guests that don't like the kinkier or weirder rooms of the establishment. You have reached modern room. Bed. A normal-looking white double bed.
It's been cleaned recently. TV. A flat screen OLED TV. It's turned off at the moment. Closet. The door to the closet is locked. To first floor. Bed. TV closet to first floor. You have reached save point. Stressed to modern room to old-fashioned room. This room seems to be fashioned after the 60s. Several rock band posters have been attached to the wall. A desk, the bedside table, and even the windows seem to be from the time period. You have reached old-fashioned room. 50s double bed. A bed has been placed inside the body of a 60s convertible car. It looks uncomfortable. To first floor. 50 family photo. Family photo. It's colored. Seems kind of out of place with the atmosphere of the place. Must have been left here by accident. Virgil takes it with him. 50s double bed. To first floor. 50s double bed. To first floor. You have reached save point. Stressed to modern to old to medieval looking room. This room doesn't have a window and looks more like a dungeon. There's no bed. The walls are made of stone. The floor is wooden. A single candle lights the place and is attached to the wall. And there are actual prison bars that outline what appears to be a cell, which has some handcuffs attached to the wall. You have reached medieval-looking room. Fake metallic cuffs attached to the wall. On closer inspection, these cuffs made for role-playing seem to be rather sturdy. Virgil wonders if these are really fake, or if they've actually been used to torture someone. The room does seem to have been cleaned recently. In fact, Virgil deliberates that it's better to stop thinking about this immediately. To first floor. Fake metallic cuffs attached to the wall. Drawer. There seems to be a key inside this drawer. Virgil takes it with him. Fake wood to first floor. Wooden table. A rough wooden table with dark veins painted on it to give it the impression of being old and ruined by humidity. Part of the decor of the place. To first floor. Fake metallic wooden tape to first floor. You have reached save point. Save the game. Stressed man to modern room. You have reached bed. TV. Closet. Inside the closet, there's a metal bar. Virgil takes it. It can be used to bust down the entrance door and fight if the situation outside is dire. Bed. TV to first floor. Bed. TV to first floor. You have reached save point. Save the game. Stressed man. The guy recognizes the photo immediately and asks Virgil for it. Then he hands it to him. As thanks, and because he thinks that Virgil can be trusted due to his honesty, and he's not being hostile to other people he should be negotiating with, he reveals some new info about how this nightclub works as a roofing mechanism for illegally attained money. Virgil thanks the man and says he'll think about the offer. He really won't. To old-fashioned to medieval to ground save point. To modern to medieval to ground floor save point. Save the game to medieval looking to ground floor. As soon as Virgil comes back, he hears a shot coming from one of the nightclub owners, directed at the goddess. Something must have gone wrong in the negotiation. The goddess dodges the hit. Since the alliance with Sin is clearly no longer on the table, Virgil and the goddess must escape and report him immediately. But first, they must take care of the attackers. The shootout has begun. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. Shots in the middle. Shots in the left. Shots in the left. Shots in the right. Shots in the middle. Virgil gets hit. He has bird shots in the middle. He feels the energy flowing through his body again. Shots on the right. Shots on the left. Shots on the right. Shots in the middle. Shots on the right. Shots in the middle. Victory. Virgil gets some medicine. Double tap to... You have reached hotel, ground floor. Reception desk, first floor. To Moon City. Reception desk, first floor. To Moon City. Virgil and the goddess get to their car and begin running away from the Love Hotel. The sirens of the police cars can be heard approaching. Someone must have heard the commotion inside and called the cops. Virgil must drive to a safe place as quickly as possible. Reception desk, first floor. To Moon's reception desk, first floor. To Moon's... Get ready. Start in 3, 2, 1. Obstacle on the right. Obstacle in the center. Right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Center. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn out of track. Obstacle on the right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left track completed at 50%. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Center. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Right. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. 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 Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Center. Left. Out of track. Turn incoming. Out of track. Turn completed. Obstacle on the right. Obstacle on the right. Escape is over. Virgil successfully escaped. After having successfully escaped, the goddess is very happy with how Virgil behaved. He's proven to be very capable and reliable. Some days later, she contacts Virgil and gives him the next mission. He must carry 3 crates containing a lot of drugs. He must bring them to a shed in the westernmost part of the suburbs, the one near the only brown house in the place. The goddess also states that she will personally accompany Virgil in the operation. The two get into the car, looking for the crates. You have reached road to suburbs. Save point. Save the game. Bus stop. To suburbs. 7th Avenue, number 16. Save point. Bus stop. To suburbs. Bus stop. From the timetables attached to suburbs. You have reached suburbs entrance. Signpost to suburbs. Main Street, number 4. To Moon City. Signpost to suburb. You have reached Young Guy. To suburbs. Main Street, number 15. To suburbs. Entrance. Young Guy. To suburbs. Main Street. No. You have reached Children. To suburbs. 15th Avenue, number 3. To suburbs. Main Street, number 27. To suburbs. Main Street, number 4. Drug crate. A suspicious-looking crate with sin written on it has been placed here. It's what Virgil has to bring to the shack, so he grabs it and shoves it in his car. Children. To suburbs. Main Street. Number 4. Children. To suburbs. 15th Avenue. To suburbs. Main Street. Number 27. You have reached to end of Main Street. To suburbs. 27th Avenue. Number 7. To suburbs. Main Street. Number 15. Mailbox. To end of Main Street. You have garish car. To alley. To suburbs. Main Street. Number 27. Garish car. To alley. You have fence. To abandoned house. To end of Main Street. Drug crate. A suspicious-looking crate with sin written on it has been placed here. It's what Virgil has to bring to the shack, so he grabs it and shoves it into his car. Fence. To abandon. To end of fence. To abandon. Cornfield. To alley. Cornfield. To alley. Fence. To abandon. To end of Main Street. Garish car. To alley. To suburbs. Main Street. Number 27. Garish car. To to end of Main. To suburbs. 27th Avenue. Number. You have to suburbs. To suburbs. Drug crate. A suspicious-looking crate with sin written on it has been placed here. It's what Virgil has to bring to the shack, so he grabs it and shoves it in his car. To suburbs. Main Street. Number 27. To suburbs. 15th Avenue. Number 3. To suburbs. Main Street. Number 27. To suburb. You have reached 15th Avenue. Number 3. To Brown House. To suburbs. 27th Avenue. To suburbs. Main Street. No trash can. To Brown House. You have reached save point. Save the game. To shed. To suburbs. 15th Avenue. Number save point. To shed. A simple shed, quite spacious on the inside, about 6 meters by 6 meters. It has a steel ceiling, wooden walls, and a smooth concrete floor. You have reached shed. Empty boxes. Pieces of wood. Clear space. To Brown House. Empty boxes. Some wooden boxes. They're empty, and similar to the ones branded Sin that have been left around the city. Pieces of wood. Pieces of wood cut in various shapes and sizes. They're probably there as a diversion. Clear space. Virgil leaves the crates he's carrying in his car here. There's still plenty of room in the shed to move around. Virgil puts the last crate into the shed. Some police sirens are heard in the distance. The two get into the car and run away. The goddess is furious. She thinks that Hill is responsible for tipping the police regarding the crates. The girl always used hard drugs. Perhaps this time she was found in the usual state of confusion by a policeman, and she spilled the beans on the crates. Virgil is sure that she wouldn't do anything like that, and someone else must have tipped off the police. The goddess begins to accuse Virgil too. He's already shown his loyalty. So the goddess tells Virgil that she won't accuse Hill on one condition, that he complete his job on his own, looking for some chemicals used for the production of the drug and stolen by a gang in the ghetto. You have reached 2nd Avenue, number 13. Save point. You save the game. To 2nd Avenue, to ghetto. You have reached Northwest Ghetto. Movie poster. To ghetto, north. To ghetto, west. To Moon City. Movie to ghetto, west. You have reached West Ghetto. To ghetto, northwest. To ghetto, center. To ghetto, southwest. Grocery store. To ghetto, northwest. To ghetto, center. You have reached to ghetto, north. To ghetto, west. To ghetto, south. Kiosk. To ghetto, north. To ghetto, west. To ghetto, south. to dead end. To ghetto. West. To ghetto. North. You have reached laundry. To ghetto. Center. To ghetto. Northwest. Laundry. To ghetto. Center. To ghetto. Northwest. You have reached movie poster. To ghetto. North. To ghetto. West. To Moon City. Movie poster. To ghetto. North. You have reached laundry. To ghetto. Center. To ghetto. Northwest. Laundry. To ghetto. Center. To ghetto. Northwest. You have reached movie poster. To ghetto. North. To ghetto. West. To Moon City. Movie poster. To ghetto. North. You laundry. To ghetto. Center. To ghetto. Northwest. To ghetto. Center. You have to ghetto. North. To ghetto. West. To ghetto. South. Kiosk. To ghetto. North. To ghetto. You have reached to ghetto. Northwest. To ghetto. Center. To ghetto. Southwest. Grocery store. To ghetto. Northwest. Grocery store. To ghetto. Southwest. You have reached young boy. To ghetto west. To ghetto south. Young boy. To ghetto west. To ghetto south. You have reached to worn out garage. To ghetto southwest. To ghetto center. To ghetto southeast. To worn out garage. An empty gray garage with nothing inside. A staircase can be seen leading upwards, probably to an apartment. You have reached worn out garage. Busted car. A very rusty, broken car. Nothing in it works, and some pieces of the interior and the hood of the car have been taken off. To drugs lab. To Moon City. Busted car. To drugs lab. As soon as Virgil enters, 3 young men are seen running out of the garage. They seem to be in a hurry, and Virgil suspects that they are the thieves that God has talked to him about. They have nothing on their hands, but quickly get into a car that has been parked nearby. Virgil yells at them to stop, but they don't listen. Virgil then gets in his car and begins chasing the men, with the intent of apprehending them and sending them to the police station. Get ready. Start in 3, 2, 1. Obstacle on the left. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Right. Virgil gets hit. Incoming. Out of track. Out of track. Turn completed. Obstacle on the left. Obstacle in the center. Virgil left turn incoming. Turn completed. Obstacle in the center. Right. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn complete. Out of track. Obstacle on the right. Obstacle in the center. Completed at 50%. Virgil gets Obstacle hit. On the left. Obstacle on the left. Obstacle on the right. Obstacle on the right. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Out of track. Obstacle on the right. Obstacle to the center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn complete is over. Virgil won the race. Virgil and the other policemen catch up to the thieves and manage to apprehend them. They must know something about the stolen drugs. Once they've been transported to the Moon City police station, Virgil heads back toward their hideout. He thinks he'll ask them a few questions at the police station after checking on what's inside. You have reached worn out garage, busted car to drugs lab. An apartment adapted into a chemistry lab. There are some machines lying around, turned off. No one is in the room. You have reached drug lab. Chemical equipment. Workstation. Chemical equipment. To worn out garage. Chemical equipment. Workstation. A metal table near a pair of machines whose function is probably related to the refinement of cocaine. Chemical equipment. Some of the materials that are used for the synthesis of cocaine are here, but not all of them. Virgil thinks that he will question the thieves that have been apprehended about this. Chemical equipment. A metal table with an extractor hood behind a piece of glass, which leaves only enough room on the bottom to fit a pair of hands. It's used by chemists to work with compounds that can be toxic if you breathe them in. In this case, it must have been used in one of the processes necessary to manufacture a kind of drug. Workstation. To worn out garage. Chemical equipment. Workstation. To worn chemical workstation. Chemical. A metal table with an extract. Workstation. A metal table near. To worn out garage. Chemical works. To worn out garage. You have reached busted to drugs lab to Moon City. Bust to Moon. You have reached South Ghetto to worn out garage to Ghetto Southwest. To Ghetto Center, to Ghetto Southeast. You have cop, to Ghetto South, to Ghetto East, cop, to Ghetto South, to Ghetto East. You have reached to Ghetto Southeast, to Ghetto Center, to Ghetto Northeast, to Ghetto Southeast, to Ghetto Northeast. To dark alley, to Ghetto North, to dark alley. Virgil can't see too well what's in the alley. To Ghetto North, to Ghetto East, to Ghetto exit. You have reached get suspicious looking boy to Ghetto Northeast exit. Exit. You have reached 2nd Avenue, obstructed road, 1st Street, number 34. To Ghetto, obstructed road, 1st Street, number 34. You have reached road to the eastern, to 2nd Street, number 41. You to Ghetto, 1st Street, number 34, obstructed road, 1st. You road to the east to 2nd to 1st Street, number 31. You have reached Elementary to 1st Street, number 25. You have reached 1st Street, number 19. You have reached fancy looking house to Main Square, to Downtown Center. Moon City to 2nd Avenue, number 6 to 1st Street to 2nd You have reached Dollar Store to 2nd Avenue, number 13. You have reached save point. Save the game. Teenagers to 2nd Avenue, number 20. You street lamp to 2nd Ave to 5th Street. You have reached Virgil's apartment to 2nd Avenue to 5th Virgil's to 5th. You have reached to Public Park to 5th Street, number 9 to 5th Street. You have reached to 5th Street to Moon City Mural to Moon City. You have reached Main Hall. To Fox's off, to Virgil's office, to Corridor. You have reached Corridor. To Garage, to Main Hall, drug-producing materials thieves. To Garage, the thieves, which are currently being supervised by some officers, give up the location of the missing materials after a round of questioning. They are in a storage room located in a dark alley in the eastern part of the ghetto. To Garage, to Main, drug-producing material. The thieves, which are currently being supervised. To Garage. You have trash bin, to cord, trash bin, to corridor. You have to Main Hall. You have to Fox's office, to Corridor, to Moon City. You have reached to 5th Street to Moon City Mural to 5th Street, number 5. You have reached to Public Park to 5th Street, number 9 to 5th Street, the bench. To Public Park to 5th Street, number 9. You have reached to 5th Street to 2nd Avenue, number 20. You have reached to 5th Street to 2nd Avenue, number 27 to 2nd Avenue. You have reached to 2nd Avenue. Save the game to Ghetto. You have reached movie poster to Ghetto North, to Ghetto West, to Moon City. Movie poster to Ghetto North. You have reached Laundry to Ghetto Center, to Ghetto Northwest. Laundry to Ghetto Center. You have to Ghetto North, to Ghetto West. To Ghetto Center, to Ghetto Southwest. You have reached Young Boy to Ghetto West, to Ghetto South. You have reached to worn out girl to Ghetto Southwest, to Ghetto Center, to Ghetto Southeast. You have reached Cop to Ghetto South, to Ghetto East. You have reached to Ghetto Southeast, to Ghetto Center, to Ghetto Northeast, to Ghetto Southeast, to Ghetto Center, to Ghetto Northeast, to Ghetto Southeast. You have Cop to Ghetto South, to Ghetto East. You have to Ghetto Center, to Ghetto Northeast. You have reached to Dark Alley, to Ghetto, to Dark. A narrow alley in which not a lot of light passes through. According to the thieves, the storage room should be here. And at a closer inspection on one of the red brick walls, Virgil recognizes an unlocked metallic door with the same color of the wall. You have reached Dark Alley. Trash container. It's a person-tall garbage can. It's filled to the brim with trash. So much so that it's overflowing outside from the top. The storage room. to Moon City. Trash container to storage room. A small room, about 3 meters by 3 meters, in which some items are hidden inside. There's a light that can be turned on by a button on the wall, allowing to see what's inside. You have reached storage room. Cardboard boxes, machine pieces, and black compost. To dark alley. Cardboard boxes. Some empty cardboard boxes stacked on top of each other. Machine pieces and... This is the place the thieves talked to Virgil about, and they didn't lie. These are the materials that were missing. Virgil puts them in the car. During the exploration of the thieves' shelters and the questioning at the police station, Virgil picked up some clues, which became clear to him just now after depositing all the drug equipment. It seems that all the attacks on Mr. Sin's business have a common direction, or someone who knows Sin, but who has no position of power. Virgil immediately thinks of Almanen. He must speak to his friend, and so he calls him. Almanen trusts Virgil and tells him the truth. He's not working for Sin anymore, but he still needs money for his daughter's health care. Drug trafficking is the only way in Moon City, even if it means clashing with Mr. Sin. Almanen asks Virgil to join him. Virgil can't, but he won't betray him. Virgil's cell phone rings again. It's the goddess, and she has another job for him. The gang that attacked them the last time at the harbor is gathering up for a new attack, and 4 modified cars must be brought to a safe place with a truck. She tells Virgil to talk to a man at the 27th number of the 2nd Avenue for further details. Virgil asks Hill to accompany him. You have reached 2nd Avenue. Truck driver. The 2nd Avenue. The 2nd truck driver. The 2nd Ave truck driver. The truck driver says that the cars that need to be taken are in the harbor in the southern part of town, before downtown. There should also be a car near this street, and another one near the nightclub. There are 4 in total. He asks Virgil to report to him when he's done loading all the cars into the truck. The 2nd Ave, the 2nd truck driver. The 2nd Avenue, number 34. You have save point. Save the game. The 2nd Avenue, number 27, to 11th Street, number 1, to 11th Fishmonger. Save point. The 2nd Avenue, to 11th Street. You have reached garage to nightclub. The 2nd Avenue, rigged car. One of the cars that need to be loaded on the truck and brought in hiding. Virgil gets in it and drives it into the truck. Garage to nightclub. The 2nd garage to nightclub. Garage. Some young workers are bringing a lot of machinery to nightclub. The 2nd Avenue, number 34. You have reached save point. Save the 2nd to 11 Fishmonger to 11. You have reached containers to harbor entrance. The 2nd Ave containers to harbor entrance. You have reached parked trucks to harbor to Moon City rigged car. One of the cars that needs to be loaded on the truck and brought into hiding. Virgil gets on it and drives it into the truck. Parked truck to harbor to Moon's parked truck to harbor containers. You have reached crane to harbor middle to harbor entrance. Crane to harbor middle. You have save point harbor save the to pier to harbor worker save point to pier. You have reached boat sea to harbor rigged car. One of the cars that needs to be loaded on the truck and brought into hiding. Virgil gets on it and drives it into the truck. Boat sea to harbor boat to harbor the middle. You have reached harbor save point to pier save the game to pier to harbor workers save point to pier to harbor the crane to harbor entrance. You have reached harbor entrance parked trucks to harbor to Moon City parked to Moon. You have reached containers to harbor entrance to 2nd Avenue, no containers to 2nd Avenue, number 34. You have reached save point to save the to 2nd Avenue, number 27 to 11th Street to 11th Fishmonger. Save point to 2nd Avenue, number 27. You have reached truck driver to 2nd Avenue, number 34 to 2nd Avenue, number 20. Truck driver to 2nd Avenue, number 34 to 2nd Avenue. You have reached street lamp to 2nd Avenue to 5th Street. Wrecked car. One of the cars that needed to be loaded on the truck brought into hiding. Virgil gets in it and drives it into the truck. Street lamp to 2nd Avenue, number 13 to 2nd Avenue, number 27. You have reached 2nd Avenue, number 27. Truck driver. The driver looks satisfied and tells Virgil where he should bring the cars in the truck, and then he leaves. After talking to the truck driver, the familiar police sirens are heard getting closer. The cops manage to track down the stolen truck. The two must get to safety as soon as possible. Get ready. Start in 3, 2, 1. Obstacle on the right. Center. Virgil gets hit. Obstacle in the center. Center. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Right. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Center. Left turn incoming. Track completed at 50%. Turn completed. Left. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Left. Left. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Left. Right turn incoming. Turn completed. Virgil gets hit. Obstacle on the right. Left turn incoming. Turn completed. Right. Center. Left turn incoming. The escape is over. Virgil successfully escaped. The truck is safe. Virgil gets out of the truck and finds himself in front of Mr. Sin, with the same mask as the last time. Mr. Sin congratulates Virgil, proving himself to be one of his best men, but not the best yet. If he really wants to reach the pinnacle of his multiple businesses, he has only one thing to do: kill Almanan. By now, Mr. Sin has discovered his betrayal, and for treason, there is only one punishment. The boss explains to Virgil that Almanan hides in an old building near the blues clubs, and it is recommended to blow up everything after work, in order to remove all traces. Again, Virgil has no choice. He must kill his friend. Hill, still with him, decides not to abandon Virgil right now, after what he has done for her with the goddesses of the moon, and decides to accompany him on this mission too. Virgil turns on the car
and starts driving back in the night of Moon City. You have reached 1st Street, number 34, to 1st Street, to 2nd Street, number 41, road to the eastern desk, to Almainon's hideout, to 1st Street, number 31, to Almainon's hideout. Virgil doesn't have all the weapons he needs to attack Almainon's hideout. He should come back when he's gotten all 3 from the weapons dealers in the downtown area. To 1st Street, number 31, to 2nd Street, number 40, road to the east, to Almain, to 1st Street, number 31. You have reached 1st Street, number 31, to 1st Street, number 34, to 1st Street, Elementary, and to 1st Street, number 25. You have reached the Club District, to 1st Street, number 31, to 1st Street, number 19, weapon dealer. The weapon dealer here is a man in a Hawaiian shirt. He greets Virgil and hands him a steel suitcase containing a pistol and ammo for it. He then wishes good luck to Virgil, which in return thanks the man with a forlorn expression. The man pretends not to notice it and leaves. To the Club District, to 1st Street, number 31, to 1st Street, number 19, to the Club District, to 1st Street. You have reached Pharmacy, to 1st Street, number 25, to Downtown Center, to Main Square, fancy looking house, Pharmacy, to 1st Street, number 2, to Downtown Center. You have reached the drugstore, to 1st Street, number 7, to 1st Street, number 19, to 2nd Avenue, number 6, Moon City Bank, to drugstore, to 1st Street, number 7. You have reached Mechanic, Save Point, Save the Race Circuit, to 1st Street, the Downtown Mechanic, Save the Race Circuit, to 1st Street, number 1. You have reached to 7th Avenue, to 1st Street, number 7, High School, to Narrow Alley, to Alley, to 7th Avenue, to 1st Street, number 7. You have Mechanic, Save Point, to Racer, to 1st Street, number 1, to Downtown Center. You have to drugstore, to 1st Street, to 1st, to 2nd, Moon City Bank, to drugstore, to 1st Street, to 2nd Avenue, number 6. You have reached Downtown Center, Main Square, to 2nd Avenue, number 13, Dollar Store, weapon dealer. The weapon dealer here is a man in a black suit and black glasses. As soon as Virgil approaches, he tells him that he heard Sin's orders and hands Virgil a briefcase. Inside, there's a submachine gun. Virgil gives a nod to the man and both go their respective ways. Downtown Center, Main Square, to 2nd Avenue, number 13, Dollar Store, Downtown Center, Main Square. You have reached man reading a newspaper, 1st Street, number 19, to 2nd Avenue, number 6, explosives dealer. This guy has hair all over the place.
Voiceover on. Landscape. Look. Close button. Fury driver. Moonwalks. Those girls.
And seems to have traces of a black powder all over his arms. Virgil asks him if he heard anything from Sin, and the man's face illuminates immediately as he realizes that Virgil is the contact he's been told to give the explosives to. He quickly walks to his van that is parked at the side of the road and transports 3 briefcases to Virgil's car. They contain the chemical compounds necessary to make a powerful explosive. He explains to Virgil how to install and detonate a bomb with those, and leaves him a piece of paper with instructions to make sure Virgil doesn't forget, and then leaves, smiling, saying goodbye. Man reading at the 1st Street, to 2nd Avenue, number 6. You have reached Downtown Main School, Downtown Center, Downtown. You have reached the drugstore, to 1st Street, number 7, to 1st Street, number 19. To 2nd Avenue, number 6, to 1st Street. You have Pharmacy, to 1st Street, number 25, to Downtown Center, to 1st Street.
You have reached to the club district. The first street to the club district. The first to the club district. The first street, number 31. You have the first street, number 34. The first street, number 25. Elementary and the first street, number 34. You have reached to Almanon's hideout. Road to the east, to second, to first, to Almanon's road to the eastern desert. To Alman, with the explosive materials and the guns, Virgil can now head to the hideout and begin the foul operation. To First Street, road to the eastern, to Almanon's hideout. The hideout consists of several green tents and a 2-floor house in the distance. The tents probably functioning as a base of operations or for doing covert operations. Virgil wears the mask, readies his firearms, and begins to infiltrate the tents. You have reached entrance to the hideout. Save point. Save the game. Parked cars. To South Tent. To Moon City. Save point. Parked cars. Several normal-looking cars are parked outside the tents. Almanon's gang doesn't appear to be crazy about races, unlike most gangs in the city. Save point. You save the game. Parked cars.
Voiceover on. Landscape. Charge port to the left. Fury driver. Direct touch area. 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 Face ID off. Portrait.
In the menu
Landscape.
page,
Charge port to the left.
Virgil has
30.
life points. Press double tap to open the inventory page. Swipe up to go back to the map. Touch with 5 fingers to go back to the menu page. You're back in the map. Entrance to the hideout. To South Tent.